Yeah. New news drop, everybody stops and comes running. Oh, just to see what Dana J have to say. Yeah. He brings the truth, oh, day by day. Oh, live for live. Now here's what you need to do. Come on, jump into live now. See what the receiver man is talking about. Dana J is on and ready to give you flavor full of baby, cause he on. Jump into live now. See what the receiver man is talking about. Dana J is on and ready to give you flavor full of baby, cause he on. Live and live in color, baby. Your favorite is like loaded. Ready? Day by day, oh, live for life. Oh, now here's what you need to do. Jump in live now. See what the receipt man is talking about. Dana J is on and ready to give you flavor. Pull up, baby, cause he on. Jump on in the live now. See what the receipt man is talking about. Dana J is on and ready to give you flavor. Pull up, baby, cause he on. Live and in living color, baby. My favorite blogger is locked and loaded and ready to go.
ACP, do you see this?
If it ain't official Dana J, Prima Donna News, I don't even want to see it.
Though we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Dear world, I'm writing this letter in an attempt to make things just a little better. This is about living through life's stormy weather, because the truth is that we're not gonna live forever, and that's my point. Well, let me start with my boy that's doing 15 in a joint. Man, he could hoop, but he loved the street life. Could've went pro, instead he chose the street life. He turned rapper and wrote about the street life, but still could not make it out the street life. And one day he bought a Glock. Wait, now page number 2 will take you to another block. A man and his wife can't get along, all they do is fight. Both too stubborn to apologize, and sometimes it gets so bad they hope each other die. And one day she couldn't take it no more, so she decided to run out of the door. She jumped in the car and swerved off in a rage, and baby, I'm sorry was all over his face. Oh, we don't know what tomorrow will bring us. Let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now that my homie done bought himself a gun, he stuck up some liquor stores, now he's on the run. Do anything to avoid the police. Now he's strung out on drugs and life is getting deep. To anyone, he would do anything. Give him the chance and he'd steal anything. Next thing he did really screwed up his life. But first, let's go back to the husband and wife. Now he's on the phone with his pastor, and she's on the phone with her mother. He tells his pastor the woman is driving me crazy, then swore up and down she's not the same lady. She says, Mama, the man has been treating me so bad ever since we found out that I couldn't have babies. Then Mama says to her, girl, hold on. Pastor says to him, be strong. No, we don't know what tomorrow will bring, so let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Although we don't know what tomorrow will bring, let's live today. I'm saying just in case. Now there's a warrant out for my boy's arrest. Cause he done went and stabbed someone in the chest. Man, them drugs just got him breaking all of the rules now. His face is posted up and all over the news now. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, the husband and wife are starting to break down. She says to mama, maybe I ought to call him. And mama said, now that's the spirit. He says to pastor, maybe I should call and say I love her. He say, I'm sure she loves to hear it. Then she gets a call on the other line. It's the doctor saying your test results came back fine. Congrats, girl, you're pregnant. Then she cries, finally a miracle sent from heaven. Now meanwhile, the other side of town, all hell done broke loose and it's going down. Cops chasing Reginald all over town. He's running every red light and driving real wild. Now meanwhile, and this ain't fiction, here is where I need y'all to pay close attention. She's so happy, she calls her husband up. He says, I'm sorry, baby, just as soon as he picks up. She says, I'm sorry too, and I got good news for you. Steve, I'm pregnant and on my way home to you. He jumps for joy, scream hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. While Reginald is still chased by police. She takes the highway, it'll get her there much faster. Reginald on the skyway, chase lasting forever. With the helicopters right over his head, with the searchlights on him, oh man, oh man. Now he starts panicking, Rachel's driving, so excited she's not realizing that just a block away, a man is on the run, while the husband's at home praying for a son. And the policeman is screaming for the call. Rachel calls her husband and says, I'm getting close. He says, honey, I'm fixing up something special in the kitchen. And at the same time, Reginald makes a stupid decision. He turns down a one-way street. Then Rachel notices this car coming and yells out, Steve, out of control, a senseless mission. Next thing you know, a head-on collision. Though we don't know what tomorrow will bring us, let's live today. I'm saying just in case.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government. Weapons of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the purge. All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the purge and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers and America, a nation reborn. May God be with you all.
Fuck it, I'm gonna stay right here and do something about the fucking show. Hey, Mr. DJ. The ladies in here are tonight. And there's one who's caught my eye. I wanna pull 'Cause tonight I'm full of fire, baby. Oh yeah, and you're the only one my heart desires, baby.
I know that there's more. More for you, more for us. Children, rain all night long. Didn't it all, didn't it all, oh, my Lord. Didn't it rain? Didn't it rain, children? Rain all night long. Didn't it all? Didn't it all? Oh, my Lord. Didn't it rain?
You can't run from it. You can't deny it. You can't pass it off. It's your call. God knew what he was doing. He knew who he was calling, and he expertly and intricately detailed every aspect of your life, your being, your persona, your psyche, your physicality, everything about you, from the texture of your hair to the color of your eyes to the way that you laugh to the fingerprint on your thumb. Everything is connected to your calling. And until you walk into the fullness of the thing that you were created for, you will find yourself frustrated. You're called.
Hey, yo, you. Lifetime. Chapter 7. This the part they didn't show on TV right here. Niggas is gonna hate me. B2 movement gonna be outside the studio. Pitchfork. Like Jenny's, man. Let's go. Sitting here watching this TV, thinking damn to myself, is it me or anyone else? Find it kinda weird, Same little girl he kissed on, the little girl they say he pissed on. Her uncle still playing bass for Kells. It has been for years. And them niggas fail to mention when women in their 30s ain't children. Your story can't be in the same sentence as a 14-year-old victim. Oh, and when they took Bill Cosby, said we didn't want to let him go. We don't fuck with Bill Cosby. We fuck with Cliff Huxtable. Real niggas saying real shit about Real niggas saying real shit about Sitting here watching this ex-wife talk about him like a dog. Maybe he did do some of that. Maybe he did it all. I don't know. But the part that had me tripping was the part when she said she didn't use the bathroom without permission. So I guess Kells was the only one pissing. Show some respect for your children. Did you forget they'll be listening? That one show, Good Times, my favorite line, beans don't burn in the kitchen. No. 1/3 telling the truth, 1/3 telling a lie. 1/3 don't wanna hear that shit. We got bigger fish to fry before we die. Real niggas saying real shit about real niggas saying real. There's a so-called R. Kelly, and every so-called family gotta teach girl's dignity. Otherwise, they gonna be not seeing nothing wrong. Well, a bump and grind. Aaliyah daddy should have beat the fuck out of R. Kelly. They wouldn't have been the second time. Where are these girls' parents at, man? Shit crazy. Real niggas saying real shit about that. And bro, did you really forage a document to get a 15-year-old girl married? Bro. Real niggas saying real shit about that. I don't know, man. It's just my opinion. Life Jennings, they about to kill me. They about to bring up my past. Only difference is niggas know I did 15. Bring up all that shit. Guess what? I did it. I did it all, niggas.
You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
You are supporting a pedophile.
Nothing good about me. I'm just a child molester. The devil. Come on, guys. As long as my breath is going in and out, you know, I try to. I think about that and I say, you know what? I ain't gonna even say nothing. I just breathe, baby. I breathe on these niggas, you heard me? 20-something women trapped in my house in the basement in Atlanta. Well, first of all, my house in Atlanta doesn't even have a fucking basement. This is my story. The only thing I can do is say what's real and say what's on my heart and give it to y'all like y'all want it. You want the truth. You ain't even got an education. You didn't even graduate from high school. You don't even really read, you know, and all of this old shit they told me. And I started believing that shit, man. But just something in me kept calling and shit. My heart was pumping this shit. It was pumping this shit. Hey fans, how y'all doing? It's your boy Kels. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting me for the last 30 years of my career. I'm very appreciative of that, and just you guys have kept me humble, kept me grounded, and kept me putting out this music for you guys. You guys inspired me to do it, so I'm gonna do it until you say don't do it no more. Don't say that though. If I met your daughter and I took your daughter out and she was of age, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Everybody, put your hands to the sky.
You ain't got no money? Shit. Sue R. Kelly.
Mute R. Kelly.
You are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress.
I know y'all know that shit is ridiculous, but the crazy shit is motherfuckers, stupid motherfuckers want to believe this shit.
This shouldn't be happening.
Every level, there's another devil. Whoever you are right now looking at me in my eyes, look in my fucking eyes, okay? I don't give a fuck about this fame shit. I'm a real motherfucker. My main goal is to unconfuse the world about R. Kelly. I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready to say what I feel. Keep it real. Say what I feel. You don't know me. You ain't never been in my house. You ain't never been in my bedroom. So you cannot judge me. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Take a breath. You tuned in up. Another day, another story on the way. So much noise out there. Let's clear the haze. Yeah. Dan and Jay's here to bring you all the news. Every story, every voice from every point of view. Current events, real time. You in good hands tonight. This is Dan and Jay. Let's get into it now. It's time to wake up, ladies. Wake up, wake up, wake up for me, yeah. I know y'all been listening to a lot of shit out there, and it's good. But it's time for y'all to listen to the real. Baby girl, you got my eyes on you. All of my attention is officially now focused on you. You're standing in the mirror, trying on all your underwear. Lying in your bed, imagining me all on you, yeah. Finally getting money than a mother. As I watch you go through every single color. And I'm about to have a sex attack, cause that's my favorite, so keep it like that. Cause you look so good from the back in black. Black panties. I love to see your booty in them all black panties. So keep them on, black panties, yeah. Ladies, if they got black panties on you, ain't no telling what else they do. If they fit right, I'll be hitting it all night. Back and forth, lick it all night. Have you all just confabulated? You'll be loving it so much you hate it. Cause do you want it? Cause I know where your spot is, and I'm willing to kiss it. Got you all in my bed, pulling off your Victoria's Secret. So let's turn it up a notch, let's act like black is all you got. Walk around black stilettos on, black room with black lights on. I'ma get it till we black out, baby, gone. I'ma give this love to your body more. And I'm about to have a sex attack, cause that's my favorite, so keep it like that. Cause you look so good from the back in black. Black panties. I love to see your booty in them all black panties. So keep them on, black panties, yeah. Ladies, if they got black panties on you, ain't no telling what else they do. If they fit right, I'll be hitting it all night. Back and forth, lick it all night. Have you all just confabulated? You'll be loving it so much you hate it. Cause you want it. It's time to wake up, ladies. Wake up, wake up, wake up for me, yeah. Let's ride. What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? What up, y'all? We talking about it. Hold on. Okay. Had to do that joint. But what's up, y'all? So yesterday, well, before I even get into that, if you want to donate to the channel, you can. That's all you gotta do is just, go to the bottom of the chat box and hit the super chat or the super bag. Nothing too big, nothing too small.
Dana J, appreciate everything y'all choose to do, and I appreciate it all. On top of that, I appreciate everybody that's here rocking with me today. I told you I was going to bring y'all part 2, and I've brought y'all part 2. I was supposed to come live at 12, but I was in the dealership. I was in the car dealership all day. Y'all know how that go. So now I'm here. Shout out to everybody that's here. What up, Miss Belinda? What up, Toy? EJ, what's up? Lily, I see you. Tanil, what's up? Marcus, what up, bro? EJ, I said you already. Chris Terry, what's up, brother? Miss Shannon, what's going on? Galatians, what's up? King Cox in the building. A child, what up, a child? Love Unconditional 77, what's up? Willie in the building. What's going on, y'all? Marcus, shout out for the 5-piece. Let's see what you say. And that 5-piece, you ain't say nothing. You just sent the 5-piece. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Also, if y'all have something that y'all want to say and I'm not getting to it, and you donate and say what you want to say in there, I will highlight it and shout you out. Okay? So I need y'all to violate me. And how you violate me is you hit that like button. Then you go hit that subscribe button. Then you hit that share button. Then you hit that join button. I have the cheapest community on YouTube. I promise you I do. And I'm going to be doing some members only stuff. And then y'all going to be looking like, I want to get in. Well, you got to join. You got to become part of the dream team. And I keep saying it. Y'all know how I do. I keep warning you, and then I stop warning you, then I just drop it. Okay? Also, don't forget, the pre-album release for Dana J, The New Me, is coming soon. It's coming up. I got 3 songs away. I'm waiting on some features. I told you that. And my brother hit me back today and hit me, and I was like, okay, God, I got you. I got to send this to her. I ain't do this in a long time. So I want to say thank you guys. Thank you, everybody. Lex put it up with the 10-piece chicken McNugget, and Lex said, keep it going with the info. 100. Then he put the strong arm up. He said, keep it going with the info. 100. With the strong arm. Now, I don't know about some of you, but just in case you didn't catch it, my goal is to help R. Kelly unconfuse the world about Robert Sylvester Kelly. R. Kelly is an entity that was created by the record labels. And the record labels don't want to take responsibility of what's going on. I appreciate you, Mark. No problem. I appreciate you, bro. The record labels don't want to take responsibility for nothing that they have done. But they want to make the man, the myth, the son, the father, the uncle, the cousin, the goddad, the bro, the friend. They want to make that person pay for everything that was created by the labels. Also, they don't use, what up, Charlotte? They don't care about using fake friends. Now, I showed you 2 videos last night of Don Russell, how he was talking things, right? Now, everybody likes to come here because I have everything. And for the people that are saying, why is we talking about Don Russell? Because a lot of the new people don't understand why R. Kelly's even locked up. They believe he's locked up for underage girls when there were none. They think he's locked up for prostitution when nobody was prostituting. So you have to give a little, then take a step back and unpack, give a lot, then go forward, then give another little. And I'm going to say this. I'm not knocking what nobody do for R. Kelly. I'm not knocking what nobody has done for R. Kelly. But there's not no male that went through the hell that I went through supporting Robert Sylvester Kelly. There's no male that have a bigger voice than me on this side. But there's a lot of males that tried to steal my work. And if I'm so insignificant, if I'm so not matter, if I'm so this, I'm so that, why am I so attacked? They even try to take my channels. Oh no, if we take his channels, people can't even see what's going on. You can't take the truth. Because Dana J is here to bring you all the news. Shout out to Galatians with the 10-piece. She said, "You are loved and supported. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody. I do. And this feels good to see people drop whatever they can. This feels good to see people here. I appreciate y'all, but I got to dive deep today. Time to go into the monster. TSW, what's up? Time to go into the monster. Because I told y'all yesterday that without Don Russell doing what he did after sitting with the feds, there would be no charges in New York. There would have only been a civil suit, and that civil suit would have been big. And Rob would have had to fight that like it was a trial. So I have to say, and people ain't going to like me. I really don't care. People ain't going to understand why I do certain things, and I don't care. What people have to understand is something going on now. And when you have things that's going on behind the scenes, you know, a person like me, I ain't going to come forward and say what's going on. I ain't even going to talk about it. But if I'm dropping nuggets, if I'm dropping things, it must be something going on pertaining to certain people. So I must say that Don formed an alliance. And the alliance that he formed was crazy. So before we get into the Don situation, right? Nope. And we got to go there first. So let's listen to a little tape between Don and Tim. This is going to put perspective into your order. Because somebody inboxed me about 40 minutes ago and said, Dana, why can't Joy just come home? Well, listen.
Tell him congratulations. He just got him a wife for life.
You should talk to TMZ and just tell them you was hoodwinked, and they gonna put y'all in a position to make some money. Talk to them. I've already talked to them about it. The benefit.
Man, I'm just real, man. No, it's just I'm done, man.
I understand that, but listen,
me and my wife going through a divorce right now.
Listen, Tim.
Put me in a situation I gotta go through a divorce now. So
Tim,
I'm a
Tim, you the man of your house. You can fix that shit.
No, it's over, bro. That shit. I'm married for 20-some years, bro. It's over.
You are the man of your house. You can fix that shit.
You talk. I already called some folks, my brothers, all them, man. This shit. Once I do that, bro, marriage don't get fixed after that. You should know this. You a savage. Once you call brothers and tell them what the fuck going on, it's over, man. That's it. That's too much public. My brothers know what's going on, what happened, what all this shit, bro. I'm done. I mean, tell Rob he can do what he gonna do. I'll go out and make my million, and he got a nice wife for him.
Like I said, you should talk to him. I ain't saying who else should talk to him with you, but you should. Go to talk to that man. I'm going to send you the number, call him, and tell him, listen, man, listen, they wait, whatever. You rehearsed you in this shit, they twist this shit. Whatever you got to tell them, because at the end of the day, that's still your daughter. When all this shit, the dust settles, you're going to want a relationship with her, and what you're going to want to be out there is that, listen, man, I screwed up, but, or maybe, I don't know if you feel that way, if you feel like you made a mistake. But whatever happened, I just wanted to, get back close to you. This is coming from a man who lost a child. I mean, so if I had it in me right now to go back in time and say 2 words to my baby girl, I would do it. I don't. So say something positive so you can have that at least out there. So when she sees it, it's public. Listen, baby, I'm sorry. I did try to make it. I'm talking about when you laying up there and she's standing over you at the end of your days, you want her to know that, goddammit, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, and I wanted to fix this. Talk to God about the best way to get that out. And you come, because only you know what's happened. She knows too, which is why y'all are so far apart right now. But something has to be said. If you are realizing this thing is falling apart, it's not going the way everybody expected it to go, something has to be said. Because Rob got 1 million fucking fans that when they start hearing this shit, like I told you, I promise you I won't put your ass in this. If you're going out there and you say something, you gotta rescind some of the stuff. Not everything. Just go say something positive. Baby girl, I support you. If you with that man and that's your choice, we love you and I hope the best for you. And then go and talk to my man over at TMZ or whoever you need to talk to. They're gonna put some money in your how that's affecting your family. And this whole thing with Lifetime was some bullshit. They know them bitches is lying. You got to say that shit. When you say that, guess what? It's out there. Right now, all that other stuff is out there. Put that out there so when your daughter can see it and she come up to you one day, Dad, why you do that? I was hoodwinked, just bamboozled, whatever. But at least it's out there that you had something on the other side. Clary's already done that. I have that already from him. And you can call him and verify that shit. It's on you now. You got to do that. It's a lot of things that transpire. Huh? I promise you on everything. Why the fuck? I'm talking. You ain't talking shit. It's like I'm directing you. I'm not taping it. But, bro, I told you, I don't play that shit, man. I don't play none of that. I'm not taping your calls. I told you it's a family courtesy. I'm not doing any of that shit. I don't want this shit to exist. We got big deals we working on outside of this shit, and it's hampering with those deals. I'm not making no money calling you. I ain't no motherfucking body else. That's my man. We got deals going on that he appreciates, that I appreciate, that my investors appreciate. And this shit is fucking it up. So I'm talking on the fact of let's get this shit over with so we can get on to some real business. Fuck all this bullshit. So I'm giving you a call, man, and you called me. But last night was man to man, me calling you, talking to you and your family, because it could get real ugly if this shit comes out.
It's already ugly, bro. I'm finna go through it.
Yeah, I know, but you don't want it to get worse. Tim, don't let it get worse. Is all I'm telling you. So go on. Just listen. I'm not instructing you. Sit down. Pray on it. Pray on it. Pray on that shit. And if you feel like what I'm saying has some value to it, put something out there that says, "Listen, I'm accepting the fact that this shit could go completely wrong, and I don't want to be." The last thing before it go wrong is I'm on one side of the fence because that's gonna look fucked up on me.
I said last night, man. I said, but Rob want to get some help. She want to get some help. I said that on the blog last night.
They don't need help based on the way they living, bro. I seen that shit. Listen, New Year's Eve I was with them. They don't need no help. They enjoying they motherfucking self. But right now, you the angry father that's mad because your daughter dating this older man and you attacking her man. That's how that shit going. And that's how they looking at it. And they fighting back.
Hey. She don't need me at this point, man. She got robbed.
She don't need you, but she wants you. No, you won't. She don't. Right at this particular point, she does need her father. I don't give a fuck with nobody. That's her man, but she needs her father. But her father's against her right now. That's how she feels.
I'm not against her, bro. I'm done with it.
That's what she feels. No, you ain't done. That's your daughter. She your daughter forever. Tim, that's your daughter till the day you die and she die. So you have to put something out there saying that, listen, I wasn't totally with that shit. Whatever. However you feel like saying it, she needs to hear that. So if that day comes when y'all sitting face to face, baby girl, I'm sorry. You can at least say that. And it's not because you're sorry because the shit fell and crumbled on you. It's 'cause I realized before that shit came out that was wrong. I should have never got in that shit. Period. I mean, so I'm giving you something. You take it if you won't. Take it not. What we have on our side is going to, listen, I'm not threatening you, but we have to make sure we protect our interests on this side. Understand that. So we got everything. This ain't no average motherfucking Joe from the west side of Chicago. This is the fucking king. He's a fucking legend. We got what we need to protect him with. So I'm giving you this as a family fucking dude. I ain't talking to nobody else like this. You and Clary are the only two that I'm talking to because why? That man loved them girls and they got a relationship that I don't fucking understand, but they got one. I don't get it, but they got it. So I'm respecting their situation and what I've seen with my own fucking eyes. And I'm not trying to put nothing out there that's going to have you and your family fucked up or Clary and his family fucked up. We do have it, though. And we got them young girls ready to go public, too. So think about this shit, man. You can play this shit back to the very beginning. You only understand. I don't know what happened in the beginning. You know, the girls know, and Rob is involved. And I'm protecting Rob's interests. That's it. But play it back to the beginning, and some shit happened along the way that you think, maybe I should have did that. Then you owe it to yourself to tell somebody on the other side. That's all it is. And that's the only way God's going to correct your karma on this shit. Go ahead, bro.
Can I say this?
Yeah, you can.
From the beginning, brother, I've never did anything to where my daughter wasn't satisfied with me. Not one bit. And from my father passing to my mother right now that's in front of me, from me going through a marriage that I had for 20 years, that's down the toilet at this point, when I say I'm done, I wouldn't give a fuck if the moon came out on me right now. I'm done fucking with my daughter. I'm done fucking with this shit. I'm done with this whole shit, bro. And if I have to do what I have to do, I'm a self-made man. If my daughter didn't tell you, I'm a self-made man. So at the end of the day, I'm done with this shit, bro. This shit is killing my whole vibe. From my wife, from my daughter,
2019.
from all this shit. And you know what you have to do? You cut when you have a vibe like that. You cut that shit off and you keep it moving.
You got 2 daughters, dog. You can't just cut it off. You don't just have 1 daughter. You got 3, and they need.
Yeah, I got 2 other daughters, and I promise you.
Yeah, listen, Tim. I can't honor what you're saying, bro. Listen, hear me out, man. I can't honor that shit at all because I wish I had 1. Yeah. So what you saying right now? That's chicken shit. Shit, I ain't trying to hear that, bro. You ain't. Are you a savage? Shit, nah. You gotta play that back, bro. You did something in this to make your karma what the fuck it is. Own that shit. Ooh. Because you see the way they're coming at him. You see the way all these rumors and fucking lies that you know are lies, and the way they're coming at him. Imagine when because y'all telling y'all side first. When the motherfucking direction switched to his response and it comes out there, oh my God. They're going to look at you real strange, man. Wherever you going to do business.
Calling me now, man. I'm going to hit you right back. I'm going to hit you right
later.
Back. All right.
Hello?
So when you hear that, right? When you hear that, and you see how the games are being played, you understand why people say you can't trust them Chicago niggas. Now, you just heard Cash on the phone the whole time. And Tim ain't know he was being recorded. I'm puzzled. Because when you listen to certain things got to come back and click like that. And when that happens, Dana have to go back and click like this. Don, what was the instructions you was giving Blockbender again?
This the one.
Motherfuckers were trying to touch new books
stay in front of a fucking camera or microphone at his expense. He wouldn't have that shit if he was out. And you know, damn well if Rob was on the streets, he would not have your ass speaking his dollar or raising money in his dollar. That's bullshit. So cut it out.
So it sounds like, I mean, I hear the passion in your voice, and it obviously is weighing heavy on your heart, and I'm glad.
Brought him here twice, met him here, never said anything about the shit, because Rob needs that level of attorney to put a blanket on this shit. He needs and a whole bunch of other names that don't nobody know exist in his life, and Barry Hankerson and goddamn Linda and goddamn Joan and Diane. I know who handles Rob's business. Matter of fact, it was me that was handling a majority of Rob's business at the time, because Rob's business had intertwined into my business. So, you know, but fast forwarding to answer the question, listen, there's a lot of folks in Rob's camp that has snaked him over down to something he would never believe. And unraveling the truths and asking Rob questions about people who stole from him and things of that nature, and crew members that stole, nobody's even looking at. I mean, you know, these girls are all smoke and mirrors. The Honda Pages, the Stocky McGee, the Phase Rod, they're smoke and mirrors. That's what they want us focused on. The real intruders, the people who really did wrong by this man, in his own camp. Because even when all of them come forth an accusation, everything that they're charging him for now is not based on him having sex with any of these girls. It's racketeering. It's trafficking. It's things that they're bending law to fit to have someone that he does have a day in court. Nobody's prepared for that. And the only way they arrived at that conclusion is because of the people that's right around Rob, the managers that were stealing, the accountants that were stealing.
How did you know what Rob was going to be facing and dealing with unless you was already there supplying the federal government with things to keep Rob locked up? I kept saying it, but let's listen.
Lawyers that were stealing, the ecosystem that they designed to steal all this money from him, and the moment he started investigating they stealing, they planted landmines. So when he step out, boom, they go off into space. And that's what I'm just talking about 5 or 6 years. I'm talking about every goddamn body. He was $900 million in the hole that should have been in his pocket where everybody stole from him. They gave him a weekly allowance, and that's what I investigated. So of course I'm gonna have enemies because these motherfuckers know I know shit about their dirt, and we're preparing for that when we get to court. Everybody's thinking we should be prepared for Johanna face. Fuck Johanna. She done done so much dirt in her years. Listen, I can depose her in 10 seconds, and this shit would be over with. There's some motherfuckers like Cheryl Mack and a whole bunch of other names that don't nobody know exist in his life, and Barry Hankerson and goddamn Joan and Diane and Cash. Don't know anybody looking at them folks. Those are the ones that need to be under scrutiny and investigation right now. Fuck a Dana J, fuck a John DePace. They ain't done nothing. We can get them out the way real easy. What about the ones who stole? Man, it seemed as if he was doing all this crooked shit, and just to throw him under the bus so he couldn't come after them.
Wait. So out of one breath, you say, I didn't do anything. I never stole nothing. But then you go around and you supply everybody, you and Keith, telling everybody I stole money from the Dollar for the King. Make up your mind. Don't be bipolar. It's either I stole or I didn't, which I didn't.
That's what we're dealing with right now. So Dana don't know shit about none of that shit, so he needs to stop. He can tell us about these hoes all day long. All he's doing is distracting people from the real folks that have wronged this man and put him in that situation. And I wasn't one of them. I just came around the man a year and a half ago. The dirt has been done already. I mean, stop with that shit.
Well, you was found guilty and you pleaded guilty. So therefore, that was determined to be a lie.
Like, I came to help this guy. I've known him since our childhood years. I cheat off this man today. I spent over $100 grand that I definitely can show. And if you Google my ass, you can see that I've got a background where it's possible. I've done good things in Hollywood. My family owns a chain of restaurants. I own a tech company, president and CEO. We fixed $3 million a couple of years ago for that tech company. So what am I doing but bringing my resources to the table to help this man? And people like Dana that's throwing shade on that, they're not helping him. They're not helping that man by doing that shit. What I told Greg, I'm going to switch to Greenberg real quick. What I told Greenberg, and I'll tell you this, the interview was after his fucking phone, and it's funny, he after his phone for Dana, but not me. He took us in his
jealousy. He would answer his phone for Dana, but not me.
Yo, in the back phone, me and you, Greenberg, and said, Greenberg worked with Don. He got the shit that you need to free me in this case. But this was when the case was a lot lesser. This one, there was lesser charges. This other shit that became federally and all that. Rob Stein Greenberg for that shit. Matter of fact, Greenberg was brought to Rob, not Nicole, who had the Bill Cosby case. She couldn't do it, so he stepped his ass in when it was lesser charges. He's not equipped to handle these motherfucking charges that I give Rob, which is why I brought in Melvin off of that shit. And nobody else did. I flew out to California, met the man, brought him here twice, met him here, never said anything about the shit because Rob needs that level of attorney to put a blanket on this shit. He needs Andrew Wyatt, that level of a PR specialist to come in and blanket and control the fucking press. That's what he needs. Not these low-level motherfuckers who ain't never had a dogfight at the top of the mountain. They can't even breathe with this shit. So for them to keep going out here and first of all, none of these motherfuckers get along. They don't communicate. Doug doesn't communicate with fucking Greenberg. Greenberg don't communicate with Ray. Ray don't communicate with nobody. Nicole, all them motherfuckers are long range just trying to sling bullets and get press and shit for their own good. They're not helping that man. And if this will cause them to do it, then guess what? Bring y'all ass together, have some strategy sessions. Hey, listen, I've had some fucking information that was valuable to winning this to hear him out. But Rob told that motherfucker to talk to me, and he won't do it. Why? Why is it that he won't sit down and get the information that I have that nobody focused in on? We don't want the world to know. I just want them to know. We're not trying to let the other side know about what we've come up with that will help defend this man. I want him to have it so he can use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's no good, it's fine too. But Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out here and throw shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took.
And that's a lie. Because he's dealing with the IRS right now. Let's finish.
To eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's Tony portal. It's Tony contract. I have all of that shit. Shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's Tony portal. It's Tony contract. Use it to defend this man. And if he decides it's not.
Discover the true hidden cause of neuropathy. Hint, it's not what your primary doctor has been telling you. If yours...
Motherfuckers who are trying to touch you. Do books, stay in front of a fucking camera or microphone. Not gonna have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. Rob asked that motherfucker to do that shit. And he still to this day will not fucking come out here and throw shots in the dark and shit that we did. If you want to know who ended Rob's motherfucking tax problem, my mother did that shit. We eliminated those tax problems from him. He's not going to have no issue with the IRS now. Can't nobody else come up and tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's Tony portal. It's Tony contract. I have all of that shit. Tell you the process that we took him to eliminate some fucking problems. I guarantee you they can't show you the signature, the passports, the driver's license, all that shit that I have in my possession. It's Tony portal. It's Tony contract. I have all of that shit. And I'm not leaked any of it because you know what? I want it to go into the hands of the right person. Not these low-life motherfuckers who are trying to touch, do books.
And with the signature, the Sony portal, the passport, and all of that, that's all you need to send to Sony so that way you can do this.
He been scamming motherfuckers since the beginning. That's how he got them girls out of their money that he brought down at the meat rob. He was bringing people in the meat rob and charging them with $700 a sum of pop. Then we get you up on the rob. He been using Rob for fucking longer. All this shit about somebody. I'm putting Rob's music on. I'm making that public. I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting his music, his videos,
or pay people. We need more. We need for profit. We need money for them to go towards the welfare system. We have
So if you got the Sony portal and the signatures and the passport and the contracts, you can go to iTunes, say, look, I'm doing this on behalf of Robert Spencer Kelly, R. Kelly. And iTunes will put it up there. So now that is over with. Understand this. While everybody's scrounging around and saying whatever, looking for commentary, just gave you the problem, gave you the solution, and solved it my way. I see y'all in 20 minutes. Dana J and Toya J live. So with that being said, right? I have a question. And the question that I have is, whose idea was it to put Robert's signature on a rubber stamp just so y'all can stamp stuff to make it seem like it's him and that he knew about it? Whose idea was that? That's what I want to know. Whose idea was that? And why would you need signatures if you ain't onto something? And TSW said, didn't he and Keith steal that stuff from the storage? Yeah. Don said it. Don said it. Don Russell said it. He said that they stole it. They stole it. Because he said, matter of fact, this is what he really said. Where is that? Let me replay it for y'all. This is what he really said.
What I do not. All of his music is safe, tucked away, waiting for him to say what he wants to be done with the shit. And until that happens, it's going to stay safe and tucked away. I have every unfucking released album, and all the motherfuckers are sitting there in certain places, secured and copyrighted. So all that shit about me putting out his music, I don't want a dime off of none of that shit. If I set up a platform and whatever I spend, I expect to get paid that back. And any fucking percentage for my work, which may be 10 to 20 based on how much I put in. But other than that, that's his shit. And I don't take pride in taking nothing from no motherfucking body else. So I don't care what none of y'all saying about that. In that trash right the fuck now. I don't steal people's shit. 46 years in, I'm 46 years old. 30 years in the game. I ain't never been known as a thief until you motherfuckers is coming with this shit now. So cut it out. Stop it. Now let's go on with the show.
Let me ask you, Dabrowski took a picture with his Billboard award. He said you let him take a picture with it. He pulled it out a pillowcase with a bunch of other shit that you had in there.
I know Dabrowski's a lying motherfucker. I had this right here. This award is still sitting in my house to this day, and it's gonna sit here. That's one. That's the other one, and that's a picture of my brother. That's it. That's all I got as far as memorabilia. Rob gave me a watch. I recently gave that to Kerry because Kerry didn't have shit of his own brother, so I gave it to Kerry and said, "Man, this is from your brother. Keep it." It was a real expensive fucking watch. I gave it to Kerry, and that was it. But I ain't got no bag full of shit. I got masters in music. The masters can't fit in no fucking bag. It takes a truck to move them, and the music is on the drive. So I don't know what the fuck else Dabrowski's talking about. He's lying. But go ahead.
But he had a picture with it. You let him take a picture with it?
I just showed him the pictures right there.
Yeah. Because some people were saying
that. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that I got those.
He buried it in his backyard.
They was at the warehouse when we took the fucking stuff out of there, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna just keep 2 of these as a keepsake. So what, man? I didn't steal shit. I had permission to be in there. Rob was locked the fuck up. All that shit we were talking about putting it on auction sites to raise money for his defense. So what the fuck is the problem? I mean, nobody's saying that I stole shit but knuckleheads. Keith is the one that was in there with me. Trust me, he got a ton of shit too. So cut all that shit out about somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. Don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. Period.
This song goes out.
Fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. Don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. About somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. It's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. Don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. About somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. There's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. Don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. Period.
This song goes out.
About somebody stole something. We were tasked to handle certain things after he got fucked up, and that's what we're doing. There's no chance that I got his intellectual property and Keith got his power of attorney. Don't give everything to one person. If I get caught and I got power of attorney and intellectual property, mission fucked up. But as long as one of us are good, mission straight. Period.
So with that being said, you now see what the whole mission was. The whole mission was to make sure Robert never came home. And I have to say this. For Keith to even be in the same vicinity as Don Russell, involving Robert stuff, that means that Don and Keith had this planned out for a while. I have to say it. And Keith can deny it all he wants. But there's no way somebody is going to just break it down like that. And you never come and defend yourself. Charlotte said, and yet he said he worked for Rob 8 months, but claimed he was his friend when he was tap dancing back in the day. I call con artists, okay? TSW said on Texas Black Diamond, he said that he and Keith went and got stuff out of the storage one day before the feds hit the storage. There was a reporter that was chasing the police. I mean, casing the place. I'm sorry. There was a reporter that was casing the place, and he took pictures and wrote the article. Wow. I ain't hear that. Don't want a dime, but want to get paid off stolen property is absurd. Right, Lex? I ain't hear that one, TSW. Dana was Don Powell's attorney. What? No, I wasn't. Shaking my head, damn. And cahoots. Right, Mama Mary. That's the only way you can put it. Shannon said Dana was Don Powell's attorney. No, I wasn't. That's the only way you can put it. That Don was in cahoots with Keith, because Don done said it. He said the team was Keith, himself, his mama, and Santee. I just find it funny that when and when Don come home, not 2 months, Santee go to jail for almost the same charges that Rob have. But what you really look at it is that Don Russell have the same thing. Yeah, send it to me, TSW. Don Russell have the same thing. Don Russell got a baby by an underage girl. Don Russell snitches at the drop of a dime. I'm just saying. So when I let other people tell the story, folks be like, oh my God, but don't talk about Keith like that. I'm not talking about Keith, but if everybody is saying this man is doing one thing, right? And he's not even trying to defend himself, what can I do? You know what I mean? Keith the backstabber. What can I do? All right, cool. Thanks. You know what I mean? Lion Lifter Larry said Keith was at his house. So Keith was at Larry's house? Oh, wow. That's something new. But check this out. Watch this.
You know, shit. You wrote a whole song called I Admit It Now. Period. And that's what put on there. So, no, oh, shit. We gotta cooperate now. Period. So this nigga finna come after everything we own. Period. Now all of a sudden he's locked up. Ain't got shit to do with that. He done with no chicks in no fucking room. Trust me, they've been through those bitches' phones too. Sorry, help them. They've been through their phones too. They know the communication between them and Rob. They know what the rappers were sending him. They was scared to get up and go use the fucking bathroom because another motherfucker was gonna fit in their shit. They know that shit. Hey dad, hey baby, hey boo, they see all that. You ain't forcing nobody to say that shit. There's a million women in this concert calling them the same shit. They ain't forcing them. They seeing all that.
Shit, damn, Keith Sweat got a song Call Me Daddy. So, I mean, people...
You know, shit. You wrote a whole song called I Admit It Now. Period. And that's what put on there. So, no, oh, shit. We gotta cooperate now. Period. So this nigga finna come after everything we own. Period. Now all of a sudden he's locked up. Ain't got shit to do with that. He done with no chicks in no fucking room. Trust me, they've been through those bitches' phones too. Sorry, help them. They've been through their phones too. They know the communication between them and Rob. They know what the rappers were sending him. They was scared to get up and go use the fucking bathroom because another motherfucker was gonna fit in their shit. They know that shit. Hey dad, hey baby, hey boo, they see all that. You ain't forcing nobody to say that shit. There's a million women in this concert calling them the same shit. They ain't forcing them.
TSW.
Shit, damn, Keith Sweat got a song Call Me Daddy. So, I mean, but they making a big issue out of the word daddy. But basically what you're saying when...
They're not making one, we are, shit. Smoke and mirrors. The smoke and mirrors. That's all it is.
Yeah, so basically when you're saying, a lot of people saying that you were saying, oh, he need help. He wasn't saying, oh, he need help because he with minors. What he was saying that Robert needs professional help because of what happened to him as a kid, and he needs help reading and understanding his paperwork and how to manage his things and being able to go right behind somebody when they bring paperwork to be able to understand what is put in front of him and things like that. So why I had the opportunity to say something. Somebody brought up one Papoose and I, we were on live, and one Papoose and I was speaking about the incident.
Really quick before you bring that up, somebody said,
hold up. Okay, go ahead.
Somebody said that Sharon Wimbush's family retired from the department or whatever communication, and police department in Chicago, so she knows something. Well, why didn't they arrest her when he threatened her? I mean, you know, why she have to throw me out there and say I'm the one that gave her the address? I mean, I think the boat she threatened her on the summer. So if she got these kind of police connections, why didn't they? Matter of fact, do your real research on Sharon Wimbush. At the same time, do your research on who Ronald Isley was married to back during that time.
Once again, I'm going to stop it there. I was just going to let it play all the way through, but no. I want to go through this piece by piece. Narratives. Listen. Oh, you want to know who Sharon Wimbush is? Look up Ronald Isley's first wife. Check this out. They have no relations to each other. Sharon Wimbush is Sharon Wimbush. Yes, I came out and before and I said Sharon Wimbush was dead. Because when I looked it up at first, that's what it said. Until I talked to Rob. And if you notice, after that, I never said nothing else about it when I talked to Rob about it. Because I told y'all about the whole Sprinter thing. Okay. So this dude like running with narratives. We ain't going to run with narratives because if that's the case, me and Jesse Jackson is related because we got the same last name. Just because Ron Isley ex-wife last name is Wimbush, don't make that Sharon Wimbush sister or nothing like that. Ron Isley ain't bring no females in to mess with Rob. Let's kill all that right there. Let's kill all that. Time to put the stuff back to where it really belongs. And I'm going to say this, and after this, I'm back on my shit when it comes to Rob. Nothing more, nothing less. I was just going to walk away after the day. I was done. Completely done. But then I had a revelation. I built this shit. So I got to burn this shit down and recreate it. And today was my redemption day. But let's finish.
That's how Sharon got in. When you realize what Ron Isley's wife's name is, you'll understand how Sharon came. Has nothing to do with nothing else outside of that, period. She got involved and Rob did her a favor by letting her help with cook meals for it. I'm sure she was probably, whatever. I don't know for sure. But she looks like from back in them days, the pictures are think of her. I don't know if they her or not. I mean, she's nice looking back in that day. I don't know if she looks. Oh, yeah. Also, Sharon, if you are listening, the guy Bruce showed me those pictures that you sent him. Nice. Very nice pictures, but that was stupid for you to send that to a crackhead. That's like Don would tell. Why don't you send those type of pictures exposing yourself like that to him? You were trying to lure him in to get him to do what you needed him to do. Which he didn't do any of that. He stole my shit. He stole a lot of my priceless shit. But anyway, there you go.
Oh, shit, I turned my back on them.
So Don just confirmed what Sharon said about the stuff been taken. Bruce ain't take none of your personal shit. Bruce took his brother's shit. And once again, I've been hitting the motherfuckers the whole time when it happened. But no, I'm the bad guy. So now I'm going to be the bad guy. Watch it all the way through.
Damn. Well, okay.
I told Bruce, I said, listen, stop talking to her, man. I don't need to know if stuff was for real or not. Oh, yeah, she's for real. Check these out. All of them.
Stop talking to Sharon? Wow. I guess because Sharon was telling Bruce like, yo, but that shit ain't right. And Bruce was like, well, Sharon, he got my brother's shit. Let's finish.
Damn. Crazy. Well, I'll just say, ladies, honey, you guys show.
To relieve nerve pain almost overnight. Thousands of people are already doing this every night.
Show me them pictures of her stuff so I can say, she sure did. I'm just gonna say alleged and
And why do your bisexual dyke sleeping with your cousin ass want to see what she look like naked? You's a pitiful piece of non-makeup ass person.
Lord have mercy. Anyway, okay. One Papoose and I was on live and we were having a discussion. And so somebody was like, if you want to know what happened, you need to ask people that was there. So I'm going to ask you again, and about the situation with Jasmine, you and R. Kelly, and why you felt the need to get Jasmine the hell away from that court. Basketball court.
So we were at a gym on 47th and State. Come around there. It was a closed down school. We used to play there every like twice a week. And this was the first time I met what is it called, the Bookums. Anyway, me and my brother we would go to the gym, and Rob always wanted to be advanced, so he would put somebody on your team that you didn't know or that you probably knew ain't had no fucking yanking. So when he put first fight, and this is going to lead into the Jasmine section, so it's a little bit before that you need to kind of hear. There were some other people there from New York. I think Bookham charged them to introduce them to Rob or whatever. That's what they told me.
Let's stop that right there. Now I got a problem. And the reason why I got a problem is because D. Wilson said that she seen him at the gym. Okay? Now, I was told that D. Wilson spoke to him. I don't know. But if D. Wilson sat there and said, I charged him to meet Robert, she's a fucking liar. If anybody said that, they are a fucking liar. I didn't charge not one motherfucking soul. That is something I do not do. Now, here's where the rubber meet the road. If him two will be honest, they'll tell you Dana ain't charged nobody. Never. Ask Sylvia if she want to tell the truth. Dana ain't charged nobody, but I understand. I'm the enemy. Ain't none of them going to tell the truth. I'm talking about Sylvia and them. Him too will tell the truth. I don't have an issue with them, but I'm putting it out there. If anybody told this fat lying motherfucker that, they are lying. And I tell all of them that to their face in front of this bitch. Like I said, they a liar. Let's finish.
And he was walking around acting gay as fuck. Like, you know, blonde patches and all that shit. And then he wanted to...
Let's stop there. When have I ever had blonde hair since y'all know me speaking about this R. Kelly joint? At that time, my hair was red. It was red, and I had a red mohawk. So where you get blonde from, you fat fuck?
Rob was changing him. This is around the time when the rumor was out about Bubba and all that shit.
I'm listening to a lot of my old words from back in the day. This video is old as hell. This video is over 4 years old. But I'm listening to a lot of the words that I called him that was tried to be regurgitated to me. Okay, I get it. Let's go. Okay. Now, let's go here. He said, I was in the gym, and then when Rob was changing, I went back there. Okay. Since we want to combine 3 times together, I'm going to separate them, and I'm going to give you all 3 times. That first time he talking about, I didn't play ball. The first time it was Sylvia, Demetria, Dallas, Jasmine, I want to say Rhonda, and Rhonda's sister. They came to the gym first. I was chilling with them because I ain't had no hooping shorts on. They left because somebody got sleepy. And then him too came after them. And then from that point, we all got to Sprinter afterwards. Myself, him too, and Jasmine. And we left. And Rob dropped all of us off to our Airbnbs. Don Russell left the first time. I ain't even speak to the nigga. So what is he talking about? I was acting weird. But let's finish. Because it's 2 more times after that. Let's finish.
Me and my brother sitting there looking at it like, what the fuck is this? So we got up, we started playing. Rob put this motherfucker on our team. And I was like, I ain't playing with him. I don't give a fuck what I said. Rob, you bogus as hell. You know, you got to play. To me, I thought he was gay.
You're a lie. Because that first time, I ain't play at all. The second time, we was on the same teams. And remember? And Rob didn't put us on the team. You chose me, nigga. It was me, you, and a nigga they call in Wakanda Forever. We lost 17-0. Game go to 15. Rob and Will Eady scored all the points. Rob burnt Don Russell for at least a good 11. Will burnt him for the rest. I'm playing defense, getting rebounds. I made 2 shots. I missed 1. I'm passing. This nigga standing at the top of the key like this. That's the second time. Let's let the lie finish.
Because he was acting like that. He put him on our team so he could win. No. So we refused to play and we left. You know, got dressed, got the fuck on about it. When we walked outside, right outside the door, there was this fucking little girl. That's what I thought she was. So he was there. When this.
Let's go here. Because he skipped a whole nother time. The second time, after we played, Don was like, damn, Rob, I was supposed to be on your team. Rob said, shut the fuck up, get the fuck out my face, bitch. Don Russell went and put on his clothes and left. The third time, Me and Will Eady was supposed to play one-on-one for $500, right? Let's go there. I helped Marquita out. So I didn't have all the 5. So I told Will, like, yo, I don't got the whole 5. See, I wasn't gonna bring this shit out. But now all these motherfuckers that talked about me, talked against me, now I'm gonna put it all out there. I ain't had a 5 because I helped Marquita out. So from that point, me and Will was mad at each other. Because Will was just talking mad trash. Like, yeah, nigga, oh, you talk all that shit, because now you don't got your money. Basketball talk. Big brother to little brother talk. I get that. So then Don played again. But before Don played, I said, is Will here, Don? Will said, nah. Don said, nah. I said, yo, ain't that Will back there with the shorts because he came out the bathroom? And he was like, And I was like, yo, you're a real fuck nigga, you bitch. Don looked at the floor. That's all right, yo, I'm going to tell Rob. So Rob was sitting over by the side laughing because me and Will was going back and forth. So we end up playing. And I end up being on the team with me and Wakanda, and it was somebody else. But it wasn't Don. Rob and them beat us. I think they beat us like 16-6. But that was a good bump because me and Will Eady was bumping. But that was a good bump. So after that, I jumped on the stage. That's when me and Bobby was cracking on each other. That's when Sylvia and them start spreading all them lies and shit on Will. And I was like, yo, but don't do that shit because y'all not thinking about all the shit coming back to me because I'm the one that brought y'all to the dance. So I don't want them looking at me like I'm the fucking problem. Okay. So from that point, but let's let him finish.
Drinking warm water with cinnamon before bed eliminates this parasite from the pancreas and resets blood sugar levels and
went down. Okay. I thought so. I wasn't crazy because I heard it from you. I didn't want you to repeat it because the people say ask the people that were there and I.
Okay, and you thought so. That's because your dumbass, Texas dumbass Diamond, and you ain't matter of fact, and D Wilson and was in your chat. You ain't asked the right people. So let's go here. After that, boom, we all went back to the trunk. That's when Rob had a watermelon. He bust the watermelon open, and because he was telling us about the motherfucking snake diet. Wait a minute, I'll never do that shit again. That's the most nastiest shit ever in life. I'll never do that again. But Rob was telling us about the snake diet. Cool, boom. So from that point, and we all hanging out, chilling, getting all that. Don, nowhere to be found. Dip, boom. So I leave the next day. I leave to go back to Atlanta. I was the first one to leave. So I didn't know what was going on. I just know I got a phone call like, yo, what the fuck is this? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Rob was like, where you at? But I said, yo, I went home. But I'm back in Atlanta. Yeah, all right, baby boy, I'll call you back. Boom. So I ain't heard him from him for like a good 10 hours. So he called back. He was like, yo, are you giving the gym information out? And I'm like, nah. At that time, I just got finished arguing with Siobhan because I'm taking up for Sylvia. So I'm not knowing what the fuck going on. I'm in Atlanta. Out the blue, Cash Jones texts me. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And she was like, this Cash, I gotta ask you a question. Do you know if Jasmine fuck with Rob? I said, what? Fuck no. So from that point, when I said that, Cash said, oh. I said, oh, what? And she was like, thank you, love yourself. But I said, oh, what? She was like, because Jasmine told me that Rob wanted her to come to the gym. And I wasn't going to let her walk. But I said, walk. Wait. What Jasmine are we talking about? And she was like, Jasmine. I said, Jasmine's not even in Chicago. Jasmine is in Charlotte. Because earlier that day, she said that she was in Charlotte. So I'm thinking she in Charlotte. At this time, I done cussed out Siobhan, and me and D. Wilson had words. And then I just cussed out Tiffany. So at that point, Tiffany texted me and said, pay attention to Jasmine live. So I'm looking at the live, and I'm like, that's the same fucking Starbucks across from the Trump. I said, something ain't making sense. So I text Jasmine like, yo, where are you at? She would not answer my shit. I said, okay, cool. So I sat back and I waited. Daddy Lolo had Jasmine, and they pulled up to Trania Davis' house, because Jasmine's stuff was at Trania Davis' house. And Trania went live and said, I'm just meeting two of R. Kelly and supporters. So from that point, I seen it, and I said, what the fuck is this? And then Trania took it down. So I'm like, yo, what's going on? So the whole time I'm on the phone, Tiffany called Jasmine, and Jasmine like, look, I don't want Dana to know because he act like he my father, and I don't want him yelling at me this and this and this and this. So I'm like, okay. So I said, are you still in Atlanta or is you in Chicago? I'm playing it now. And she said, nah, I'm in Charlotte. At this time, Jasmine called me like 10 o'clock. Hey, Ms. Reddy, ask your question. So at this time, Jasmine, it's like 10:30. Jasmine said, I'm in South Carolina. So I said, why is the music to the Starbucks playing in your background? And that's the same music from Chicago. Who was the lady that gave her money to get home? Sylvia gave her money to stay up there. And Sylvia gave her money to go get an Airbnb. It was the lady from Canada that gave her money to get there, and she gave her money to get home, and she wired the money to Daddy Lolo. Let's keep it a buck. So the whole time I'm saying, yo, y'all got to stop acting like this, because this shit gonna fall back on me, because I brought all of y'all around. I was the common denominator. So from that point, me and Rob got into it the first time. At that time, Daddy Lolo stayed with Jasmine for a whole fucking week. Is Jasmine from Charlotte, North Carolina? She's somewhere from North Carolina, Ms. Reddy. She's some, matter of fact, she lived like close to Dr. Rice. So from that point, Daddy Lolo is staying with Jasmine for the whole week. Man, Daddy Lolo got the beefing, and our beef came about, and because I was talking to the girl that he used to talk to named Kayla. Kayla that be in the chats. Me and Kayla stopped talking, and because I got tired of being bamboozled. Let's keep it a buck. I'm putting it all out there now. So from that point, Sylvia was on the phone, and she called me, and she said, Dana, Siobhan on the phone, and Siobhan said it just like this, and Siobhan said, and Sylvia, tell him what you done. So I started laughing. I said, what the fuck? Mind you, me, Siobhan, and D. Wilson already had this conversation 2 weeks before it even came out. And that's when I had that motherfucking group. Team Kels. King Kels, I'm sorry. King Kels on Facebook. So from that point, Sylvia said, well, yeah, I told Jasmine don't tell nobody, but I gave her and the address to the gym. So I said, why, what the fuck would you do that? That's making me look bad. At this time, Sylvia said, well, I don't need everybody coming down on me. I don't need everybody coming at me. And she hung up the phone. So Siobhan was like, I'm tired of this bitch. And I said, no, Siobhan, let's give her some time. Maybe it was a mistake. That same night, Rob called me bitching. And I'm like, bro, she's a good person. Rob said, do you trust her with your life? I said, yeah. I didn't know what he was saying. I didn't know she was snaking me the whole time. Don, go to jail. Why did you charge all those people to go to Chicago and pay dues when how did Angelo know to call you, Jasmine? But I'm about to get to that. First of all, I didn't charge nobody. So let's not go there. I ain't charge a damn soul. And if D. Wilson will be honest, or if any of him two, like D. Wilson, Demi, Shantae, or Siobhan, if they'll be honest and they jump in this chat, they'll tell you I didn't charge nobody. So what happened was,
this is my hair on minoxidil. This is my hair on finasteride. And this is my hair on this new.
I'm taking up for Sylvia, even when Rob was like, don't trust her. I'm taking up for Sylvia, and I'm like, nah, Rob, man, you can't do no shit like that. And Robin said, all right, okay, all right. So from that point, I'm like, shit, this is my friendship. And I kept stressing it. I kept saying, yo, y'all got to chill out with whatever y'all doing because this shit coming back on me. Sylvia, I will never do nothing to hurt you, but I'm always here for you. Dana, oh my God. And you know, I really feel bad for you because everybody coming at you. Oh, trust me. Oh, you're going to hear that shit tonight. So I'm like, all right. From that point, I'm like, shit, Jasmine done fucked up. So the next day, Angelo called. Angelo said, yo, man, you on two opposite sides, but I'm a need for you to lawyer up. I said, why do I need to lawyer up? He said, yo, Don Russell is pushing the narrative for the girl Jasmine and to go to the police for to have you locked up. I said, what? I said, yo, I was asleep. And I said it just like this. Yo, I was asleep. And the bitch, when I woke up, put a bitch mouth was on my dick. So I took her all the way through there. He started laughing and he said, yo, I know her mother. I know her. Shorty on a runaway spree, and her mother just posted on her motherfucking Instagram that my daughter want to be a victim of R. Kelly. So I started laughing. And I was like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Stop playing with me. So then from that point, Jasmine called me and said, yo, and you know, Don Russell put a gun on my head. And our Uncle Bud came and saved me. And then Rob came and got mad at Don. At this time, I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm in Atlanta. My still question is, why the fuck are you in Chicago? Because let's keep it a buck. If Daddy Lolo would tell the truth, but let's keep it a buck. The girl that she originally supposed to go to Chicago for, she was in a relationship with a dude. And she said it was people from her school. From that point, the girl was not trying to come get Jasmine. Me and Daddy Lolo had to threaten the nigga. And we stood outside the truck to make sure she got in a motherfucking car. So when the car pulled up and the girl was looking like, really? And Jasmine like, hey, how you doing? Lolo looked at me. I looked at him. He got in his Uber car and drove off. I got a ride over to Siobhan and them junk because I was leaving at 5 in the morning. From that point, I'm looking like, damn. I'm back home at this time now. I'm like, I can't win for losing. So I came up with an idea. But I said, since Will, Rob, myself, everybody that be in the gym, but I said, since it's really not enough water and for everybody, how about King Kells and Kells Angels just go about getting water and for everybody? Oh, what up, grown little boy? What about getting water and for everybody? And we could collect dues and just send it up there and for them to get water. Everybody and was on it until Kevin Terrell got a hold of it. And then it was, oh no, R. Kelly a superstar. Well, why the fuck would you do that? And that was orchestrated by Don Russell. So I said, all right, cool. At this time, I'm finding out that Cash paid for Jasmine Uber. Sylvia gave out the address. I'm like, all right, cool. I was willing to take all that to my grave. Then come the defense fund. From the defense fund, it's like Sylvia was going around telling everybody that I stole the defense fund money. I did this, I did that. But Sylvia, you took me to the dealership. No, you did not come and get me, but I took an Uber back. I didn't get a car for that day. Even when I got the car from her and her husband, Sylvia was like, oh, they're going to say you stole the money from the defense fund. It never dawned on me why would they say that? So let's speed up some shit. Because now I'm going to put the rubber to the road. If y'all notice, certain people from the camp or the inner circle, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Certain people from the camp came on my show a couple times. And I'm gonna be honest. The reason why Keith ain't come on my show and the reason why Will ain't come on my show, it wasn't because of them, it was because of me. And I'm gonna put it out there. Me and Sharon Winbush had one conversation after I left Chicago, and Rob said, both of y'all two got to squash that shit if y'all fighting for me. Y'all both got to squash it. That's why you never heard me say anything else about Sharon, and you ain't never heard Sharon say anything else about me. So Will Edie told me, yo, I'm the older brother, you the younger brother. Stop arguing with these people. He told me that twice. Keith told me, bro, you don't got to argue with these people. Sharon said, you don't have to argue with nobody. Just
building a house in LA. I'm doing all of this. Why is that? Because they trick us. They trick our minds. We believe. If they say something about crime, we don't believe it. We go, that's right. They say about crime. We so busy looking at these damn phones. Okay? You see the bitten apple. It's the devil. That's why I said we can. You see the bitten apple. Don't get it twisted on me. If we do not come together, that's right. together. Where's the march? Martin Luther King marched. Right. When the last time we done seen a march, Mark? Like you seen the last time somebody done told kids. When the last time we seen? No, homie. It didn't work. I love you, but it didn't work. We have to walk. We have to talk. Hold on one second. I got a heavyweight brother. I got two brothers.
When I first found out I had abscess on my vocal cords, I was thinking pimple. The way I found out is that I was 3 shows before my last show on the Love Letter tour, because in the end, I would be singing one of the hardest songs I've ever sang in my life, which was When a Woman Loves. And because there's a note that I hit in the end. You're either gonna hit it right or you're gonna hit it wrong. You hit it wrong, you're being lazy. To hit it right, you have to breathe and you have to belt it out. And you have to hold it for a long time. And I had been doing this night in, night out, for about 40-something shows every other night. And it got the best of me. Well, the show before the last show, I hit this note and it almost murdered me because my throat was already sore coming in, landing at the end of this tour. But I didn't think nothing of it. I thought I had a sore throat. It was terrible and this and the other. But I'm like, okay, I got one more show left. I should be okay. I'm just going to belt through it. And when I get out there in front of that audience, I'm not going to say to myself, okay, now you got to take it easy tonight, because even though everybody was telling you to, but when you get out there in front of that audience and those lights hit you and that audience is screaming your name and the band kicks in, you pretty much get on the bandwagon of that and you ride it out, and because I'm a soldier with mine, and I just, whatever happens, it happens. But it happened.
So hold on. I ain't know I was muted. So I'm going to say this again. For all the people that talked about Rob had herpes, and because he had to take Veltrax, and you heard Robert Keller say, Rob got to take Veltrax, so he got to have herpes. No. This is the reason why Rob have to take Veltrax, and I'm showing it now. Y'all heard me describe it night in, night out, but now I'm letting Rob tell his own story. Check it out.
I was doing my job. So that last night I got on stage, I found out that it was worse than a cold during that note. I knew when I hit, when a woman love, that's the note, that I felt something in my throat do something that is never done before. I felt like I was being stabbed in my throat as I'm holding a note. But I refuse to not hold the note. I can't, in the middle of love, you can't go, love. Wait a minute. What's this going on in my throat? You can't do that. At this point, you got to keep it and you got to hold it and you got to hold it till it's over. Crowd goes up and I go down. I felt like this is something ain't right. So after that, something really wasn't right. And the next day I ended up in the hospital. And that's when I was diagnosed with, I had a abscess on my vocal cords. I couldn't talk, mouth sealed together, couldn't talk, but I can hear. I woke up, 6, 7 doctors over me. So, one of the doctors told me that there is a possibility that I won't be able to sing for a long time. And once I do gain my voice back, it's not guaranteed that I'll be able to sing the same or a little less. And of course, that's a big letdown and a big disappointment and a scary thing for anyone that if this is what you do, this is what you've made your career off of, this is what you're known for, this is what you're in love with, this is how you put your kids to sleep. Of course, it's going to rattle you. The doctor said, take a couple of weeks. I told them the only way that's going to happen if y'all keep me in the hospital. But they said they had to discharge me. They can't keep me in the hospital because you're better. You got to go home. You got to drink plenty of soup, plenty of fluids. You got to not talk much. You got to be quiet. Ooh. And I told the truth then. I said, it's going to be hard to not go in the studio. So I went in the studio anyway. I was hard-headed. I was, being a knucklehead. I went in the studio because, you're telling me to not go in the studio when I'm feeling good, even though my voice is, but I'm feeling good and I can walk, I can run, I can do it. To tell me not to go into the studio is really seriously telling R. Kelly okay, can you hold your breath for 2 weeks and then we'll let you go in the studio. That's pretty much what it was saying to me. And I know, I shouldn't. No, don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. You can mess things up worse. And all of that came at me and was said to me. But 2 days later, man, it was 2 weeks to me. That was 2 weeks to me. And I went in the studio and then I was hearing all these crazy rumors. He ain't gonna never sing again. He's done and whatever, but I went in the studio and I wrote a song called Shut Up, which really I should have been shutting up, but I wrote a song called Shut Up and I was singing and I would go in the bathroom and I would be spitting blood, and I would go back in the studio. And once I finished Shut Up, I had no choice because a couple of the stitches came loose, or something came loose. And then that's when I took the 2 weeks.
So for people running around saying that, he got herpes, no, he got to forever take Valtrex due to the ongoing of him singing, and the pus comes and goes. And the only thing that cures that lymph node surgery or the problem that he had on his throat is Valtrex. However, I'm still waiting to see Faith Rogers' medical record. Why Ann Donnelly give Faith Rogers a free pass and just went off her word? So I'm going to do this Don Russell thing like this. There's a part 2 to part 1 that we looked at. And part 2 go like this.
Obviously, you know about the king of R&B, R. Kelly, sitting behind bars for 30 years for sex trafficking, racketeering, and the list goes on.
And he would be in the bed with Aaliyah and her mother at the same fucking time. I mean, I don't really want to hear that shit, but that's the fucking truth.
So let's go back. We were talking about the studio, and had you ever seen what they claimed they saw in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary? They talked about, girls being in all these rooms, mattresses being on the floor, a bucket being in the corner. You never saw any of that.
No. So like I said, that was not at the studio that we went to. You got to remember when I came around, it was at the end of his career. Like I said, I always describe it as like the Titanic. The smokestacks was the only thing above water. So
he basically, for those 8 months, he was a saint.
Yeah, he had to be. I mean, it's like, look,
8 months, he just decided, I'm gonna clean it up.
Jesus is coming. Act the part. What I mean? So it's Judgment Day. So that's essentially what it was. I mean, but it started unraveling. I mean, it really did. But as I alluded to, was the women in the documentary.
Love you back,
never met
sis.
any of them. I mean, we're in court right now. None of them know me. They've never seen me before, never talked to me before, any of that. This happened way before I came on board. So everything that you guys are referencing in this documentary that was built was created on people who knew him throughout his career. I came at the very end.
Right. So why are you being sued by one of them?
I'm being sued by 4 or 5 of them, and they just one of them.
Why?
We might trade.
Because they all.
It's a lot of stuff you can't say.
Well, no,
Obviously,
I can say, well, honestly, at this particular point, a civil case is different from
that's
the
true.
criminal. My criminal cases are over with. The civil cases are still going on now. They're suing me because he's broke. He has no more money. And it's like they're going to get something from somewhere. That's essential.
But they've never met you, never saw you, don't know who you are.
Last one of
Why
them
come for you?
Every last one of them have said that in court. It's on transcripts. They don't know me, never seen me before, none of this stuff. But because of this December 4th event, this allegedly I'm the person that called in the threat, they all have now mysteriously got PTSD. And of course, they were all diagnosed with PTSD from this lawyer who hired her, hired her expert friend as a psychologist to interview them for 30 minutes. And in 30 minutes in one interview over the phone, a video phone call, she determined they all have PTSD. So now collectively, all of everything that had happened in their whole life, them having shell shock, they can't eat, they got picking disorders and all this shit, is my fault. They're not even suing R. Kelly. They're suing me. Now the whole goddamn complaint is about R. Kelly. Everything in the complaint is about, this is the same thing that the prosecutor did in his case. They said Don Russell, for not even a sentence. And then they went into R. Kelly's life and talked about all this shit and then segued into me again. So they wrote me into his career back to 2008, but I just came in 2018. You read the complaint, it reads as if I've been in this man's life since 2008 working with him when I just came in 2018. So that's the bullshit that they did to make it seem or appear as if I've been working with him that long in order to push this damn civil lawsuit through for $50 million.
Could you pay that lawsuit? If the judgment was granted on the women's side, would you be able to afford that?
Hell no, 50 million, no, fuck no. I couldn't pay nothing. First of all, they can grant whatever the fuck they want. They can't get nothing I don't have. That's first of all. They're not taking shit from me. I don't know them people. I have not cost them a fucking dime. The biggest victim in this motherfucker is me. They didn't lose nothing. They volunteered to be in a relationship with that man. After he pissed on them, shitted on them, and all the nasty, vile, degradable things that they did, they volunteered. They got on a plane. They flew across country to meet his ass. They over a year relationships with every last one of them. So how is it that I caused that problem? Right. How you throwing that shit on me when you did that on your own accord, whether you was 15, 14, 25, 45. You did that shit. You volunteered to be in that relationship with that man all those years. He put you through the worst shit. You did it because you thought you was going to win his heart over. And when he said bye, you felt fucked up. What the fuck does that got to do with me? It has nothing to do with me. I came way after all that shit. Don't know none of you. The only way I met you was through lawsuits that you filed. So to me, I'm a business owner. I've been sued by ex-employees before. So to me, this is nothing but somebody trying to get some money. That's literally what it was, because I met a true victim, and I'll tell you her response to what happened. And it wasn't nothing like these motherfuckers, but the fact of the matter is, they volunteered. It's like if you keep going to see a motherfucker and you're getting the same result every time you go see him, that's on you. That ain't on him. One of them flies from Texas to New York, then came back and flew to another place to meet, came back, flew to another place, sending them pictures from phones in Texas of her new boobs that she got done and shit, that he paid for, obviously. From Texas, though. And then got on a plane and flew to go see his ass. You had the option to stay your ass in Texas. If he treated you shitty the first time you went to go see him and supposedly gave you herpes and shit, why the fuck did you go back and stay in a relationship with his ass a whole year? What's the point? Why did you keep doing that? And why the fuck am I responsible for somebody who didn't even know you? No, wasn't even fucking with him then. In my own life, way the fuck over there, didn't know what the fuck he was doing, didn't care. You gonna sue me now because this one event has prompted you to lose your mind and got PTS fucking D because you went to a venue to talk about what he did to you, and now you got shell shocked because somebody called in a threat, which it was never announced. I sat in the trial. It was about me.
I got it, TSW.
They said it at the fucking venue. They didn't announce what happened because they didn't want to create a herd effect. Right. They didn't want people running out tearing their fucking building up. It was not on any of the fucking papers in New York that it was a fucking threat. You talking about New York. Twin Towers, all that shit. Bomb threat in New York gonna get all type of fucking coverage.
Nah, I don't got that.
Lifetime's fucking event. Why the fuck didn't they come after me? So no, somebody said that shit, and it was an informant who did that shit, who they put inside to stir all this shit up. The same informant's cousin blew up one of them girls' fucking car. They tried to connect me with this motherfucker. I don't know him. There's no history of me ever knowing this motherfucker. Michael Williams, he's doing time now, but he was connected to this fucking I can't say her name, but anyway, she was a publicist, first for Lifetime, which is how we met her. She claimed she was involved with worked for Lifetime, and she was hearing all these stories from these girls, and they was lying. She was sick of hearing it, so she wanted to send the information over to us to help our side out. She first met a guy named Julius, who Julius trying to hit on her. So then she found out that some guy named Don was in charge, which is me. So she found me on Facebook. Don, I'm trying to get y'all information on this stuff for Lifetime, all these girls online. So she just started sending shit. So this is the girl who I would meet, and I told Rob stay away from her, because ain't no telling, she's too all over the place. So she seemed like she just want to get next to you.
Right, Gemini.
She's the one that wrote the book Daddy's Little Girl, or whatever, Daddy's Little, whatever the shit it was called, which is all a fucking lie. This girl was starting fires every fucking place. She was recording, she went and fucked Tim Savage or Angelo Curry, one of the two of them, recorded all of their conversations, sending them to me, sending all of the shit that Lifetime is saying they knew that the girls was lying to me, and I'm letting Rob hear all of this shit. So I'm like, this shit is a hot mess. So her cousin, who was in New York with a fucking gun on him, because in the event Surviving R. Kelly in number 3, the mother of the Rogers chick, her mother is on there talking about how the guy with Cash had a gun on him. That was her cousin, the same one who set Azriel's car on fire. This is the same guy who called the venue the day of the fucking, just like I'm on the phone on hold, he calls, we find this shit out in trial. I didn't know this before the trial. So why is it that somebody who spent $5,000 to get a fucking lawyer to draft a fucking cease and desist order, who would have preferred the event to go on because we'd have checked the hell of a bag? Trademark, copyright infringement. We're calling a threat. And that's not anything that you resort to. But this motherfucker who's trying to set me up, who on multiple occasions tried to set me up, yeah. If it was a threat, that's the person who did the damn threat. Because this motherfucker been setting cars on fire and all this shit, trying to make it seem like R. Kelly and his camp are ordering this shit with him. And then the girl, the publicist, the same publicist chick, did an interview where she talked about how they used me. I've been working for the FBI this whole time. We used Don. Don was a pawn. So they did all this shit. They did all this shit because, one, you have to have an enterprise. Everybody in Rob's camp cooperated. I was the only one that told him, no, I'm not cooperating. Oh, you're not going to cooperate. So we're going to spank your ass. That's exactly what happened. It had nothing to do with me not cooperating. I don't know them heifers. I never met one of them a day in their fucking life. They have all said it in trial right now. We're in trial right now. I got to be back on the 17th. The last day they interviewed everybody. Have you met Mr. Russell? I'm representing myself. No. Have you ever seen him before? No. Have you ever came across him? No. So why the fuck you sued me for $50 million? Because of this fucking event? Well, if you were sitting in court, I won the case because the guy that talked to the Kresnicki who testified as the only person I talked to stated it wasn't him. He said it was a guy from New York, I can tell from the accent that he had in his voice, that called this threat in. We've got all of the 911 calls, everything that shows him calling. He called his father to find out what he should do before he called 911. How much of a threat could that have been? You call your father before you call 911, and then you go down and talk to security and all that shit, and you decide, okay, you know what? Let's go and let's go and let everybody out of here. But we're gonna do it peacefully because we don't want them to tear up our fucking place. So all of that's on record. What I agreed to saying is on record. I did not agree on record, and I pled guilty to what I agreed to. What I agreed to that's on the fucking transcripts right now was when they asked me, Mr. Russell, on December 4th, did you purposely mean to intimidate Mrs. Rogers? I said, okay, my intimidator, what do you mean? What did I say? No, the first one was that you threatened her. I said, okay, by threatening her, can you repeat to me what I said? I want to agree to what I said. And I said, let's take it a little farther back. When she called me, because I didn't call her. I never had any contact information on them. Cash gave them my number. She called me. And that's on record. So they said, when you spoke with her and you threatened that you would say this exactly right. You threatened her stating that you would file charges against her if she continued to reach out to you. I said, yes, that's what I said. That's what the threat was. I threatened her with filing charges against her. Then they read the next one. Mr. Russell, did you or did you not mean to intimidate Mrs. Rogers when you spoke with her on the phone? I said, okay, well, can we go over what was said that was so intimidating? I said, well, and let's go back. When she called me and cursed me out, first, I responded by saying, yes, you have a potty mouth to be the first lady of a church, and you really need to be careful who you calling with this shit. And I hung up on her ass. I own my own shit. I don't desire, nor did I invite that call. She called me, so she deserved to get a response for what she called me on. The last one, did you purposely mean to embarrass the other Rogers girl when you sent nude pictures of her to Lifetime? I said, okay, let's see these pictures, because I need to see exactly what it is that I sent to Lifetime. I don't have any nude pictures of her. Where would I get nude pictures of this girl from, right? So they brought the first picture. I said, no, I never had that picture. That was a trick. I said it was a PowerPoint presentation that was sent to Lifetime. Can I see that? They brought it down. I said, okay, yes, this was drafted in my office, but I didn't put it together, honestly. My mother actually put it together. And it was her and Robert. Rob gave her the conversation between him and her, talking about she wanted to end the lawsuit. She didn't want to go any further. And she just wanted him to fly her to see her. He didn't answer the phone because I guess he was busy, and she went nuts. So that's when the shit hit the fan. So other things were pictures that were cropped that she had sent Robert, personal shit, stuff to women, and they boo, whatever. Everything was cropped. There was nothing showing any fucking nudity. Facebook is not going to allow it. YouTube is not going to allow it. The same video that they're speaking of is still up on YouTube today. If it was nude pictures, they would have took the shit down, period. And all the video said was, the bank is closed. The dude ain't got no fucking money. Stop suing him. So we sent that to Lifetime. We sent that to her attorney that was suing, and we sent that to the court. So that was as much as it went. And it wasn't me. It was done from my office. So what I said to them was, because it was done from my office, I will take full responsibility for it. But no, it was not intended to embarrass her. My office was simply negotiating with Lifetime an alternative called Surviving Lies to expose who the women, now that they knew who the women were. And I said, but if it did embarrass her, my apologies. And that was it. That's what I pled guilty to. Those are the charges that I pled guilty to. So if you read the transcripts, that's exactly what's in there.
So you didn't create the Surviving the Lies Facebook page that showed nude pictures of girls?
There was never any nude pictures ever being shown. We never had any.
Got it.
Surviving the Lies was Cash. Cash Jones did that. I did Surviving Lies, but she did Surviving the Lies. She was taking forever to come out with. I said, Cash, you got all this stuff that you done, in these pictures that whatever you done got from these people. What's taking you so long to put it out? So I sent her $500, which is noted to put this, because she's like, Dom, my money's low. I got to pay for this, which was a fucking lie. She didn't need it. I got to pay for the hosting and all this stuff. I said, okay, fine. I send you the money. I sent it to her via Cash App or something like that. And she never put it out. So what I did was open up a Facebook page called Surviving Lies, and we put out the same PowerPoint presentation that we sent over to Lifetime. There was no nude pictures ever on there.
So now this is the part in
and you can
Surviving R. Kelly where she said that someone asked to meet with her. It was the mom and the dad.
Right. Yeah.
This is the part we're talking about, right? And they went into a restaurant.
Right.
And so now are you the person that had the gun?
No, that's Cash and her uncle, a cousin, the same guy who set the cars on fire.
So you're not the person that had the gun?
I wasn't even in New York. I was in Chicago. Okay. I never went to New York. I've never been to New York.
I mean, I'm just clearing it up because, there were rumors that
That was you.
No, hell no. That was her and her cousin.
So I want to go back to something you said, because when you talked about the Aaliyah portion and Early asked you the question, did you know he had a problem with girls? You said there were 2 instances. You said the Aaliyah situation. What was the other situation?
So it was a girl that I met excuse me. I met in Chicago. We were it was God, the universe. I'm headed home one day from the office, and I'm driving and I light a cigar, and this girl next to me is laughing, and we both in traffic, headed west, and I peeked over at her and I rolled over like, what's funny? I thought she was laughing at me lighting a cigar because it's a big cigar, it's a gorilla finger. I'm like, what's funny? And she was like, oh, no, I'm on my Bluetooth. She was talking to somebody that she was like, I said, oh, my bad, I'm all up in your business, whatever. So I ended up, shooting my shot at her or whatever be the case, and we exchanged numbers. She was like, I'm in real estate. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, let's talk. I just got a building. And that goes back to how I benefited from Rob. My investor not to get off the subject, when our lease was ending in the office, he was losing the studio. My investor gave me a 57,000 square. He didn't give it to me. He gifted my nonprofit with a 57,000 square foot building on the west side of Chicago. He owned it. It was in demo, and it took a few dollars to get it back off demo. But that's why I say no, because that building is what we're building this new whole oasis off of today. So indirectly I benefited, but not directly from him. So getting back to Nicole, we exchanged numbers, and then we talked later on. We went out a couple of times. She was in real estate, and she actually was one of the person that was helping me find financing for the building. Nothing ever came through because of COVID. But one day we were at the Polsky Center, which is a place I had this temporary office space before we moved into a new one, and she was we were talking about it. Me and my mom was in the car. She was in the back. This is after I had told her that I was working with him. And she was like, we were saying, no, we got to get this done. We got to send this off. We were going over our game plan. And my mom got out the car to go into a Whole Foods, and she was like, Don, he is guilty as fuck. And the conviction in her voice, I was like, what do you mean by that? Talk to me. What's going on? And that's when she broke everything down to me. And it was up until then, I had no fucking clue about anything. She was like, Don, listen. Homeland Security contacted me because...
This is his mother now.
And I didn't participate. I didn't cooperate with them because, one, I went after him. She was like, I was dating 25, 30-year-old dudes when I was young. Father shot this dude climbing out my window.
What up, J-Rock?
So I remember going to the school and Miss McLean and telling her, I want to hook up with dude because Miss McLean knew I was a singer and she was in music. So anyway, she hooked up with Rob. She was 14. She started going to the studio. Shortly after that, they started messing around. She wrote some of his music.
At 14?
What?
14. She was there all the time. She's the one that explained to me that Battery Studio, he had rooms and he had his Fab Five, like the basketball Fab Five, Michigan. So he had his Fab Five and every one of them was underage. And I was like, okay. And she was like, and he would leave us and we would all stay voluntarily. She said most girls were scared to leave because they knew they would get replaced. They didn't want to leave and, somebody else took their spot. And she said, then outside of the rooms were other girls hanging out that they weren't the top of the line girls, but they were just girls he had fun with. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, when he would come back, we would play games like musical chairs. And musical chairs was everybody would walk around a chair, and the last girl without a chair would have to go in the room with all the rest of the girls, engage in, activity with him. So I'm like, okay. I'm still listening to it like, okay, this is all horrible shit. So anyway, she's like, so I did that for him for years, like the little games like that, and she's like, and when I got a little older, she was like, I had to stop because I was too old for him. And she had a daughter. and she had started moving forward with her career in real estate. And she realized she wasn't going to benefit from being around him. And she said, she found a nice husband. She got married, had a daughter. Career was jamming in real estate. And she said, but this is when I realized what R. Kelly did to me after I got married. I was like, what? She was like, well, I go out at night. I got the perfect husband now, beautiful daughter. And I go find multiple people to fuck and sleep with because my sex drive is so high because of what he did to me as a 14-year-old that having one person, a sexual experience ain't enough for me. I got to have multiple people. So when I heard that, I broke out like, that is the problem right there. And I don't hear any of these motherfuckers talking about that. The effect of how they are now as a result, that's PTSD if you ask me. He did something that traumatized the shit out of him. And now she's got to sneak out on her husband looking for 4 or 5 women to fuck on because her husband ain't enough. So now she's married to a man and a woman because they can't satisfy her sexually because of what R. Kelly did to her. Problem.
Do you feel bad for any of the victims?
Fuck yeah. Somebody that's going through that, hell yeah.
What the
I stopped
hell?
working for him right after that. Not for him, with him. I was done. I'm like, wow. After hearing that, the shit with Aaliyah was supposed to be 12 when they first started fucking. I was done after that. I'm like, you know what? This shit here is some sick shit. I went to California. And people know that shit. I was done. And
so now we see where all the lies come from. Oh, the 12-year-old shit coming from Don. That makes sense. Let's finish.
I had a lot of his shit. So, like, I would fly back to make sure his stuff was getting transitioned back to him, but I was done working with him after that.
You didn't have the tapes, did you?
What tapes?
Had you ever seen the tapes, these sex tapes that he supposedly recorded?
He's had a catalog of sex tapes that he watched.
I have his catalog of music. I had it up until Sony just confiscated it. I had all of his masters. And I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. I didn't have them. I know who had them because we negotiated.
Wait a minute. So Sony came and got them from you? What the hell? Oh, hold on. So Keith allowed Sony to come and get the tapes of 12 Play Fourth Quarter from you, but 5 years later, it's still music from 12 Play Fourth Quarter being put up on the YouTube platform, but it's not you. Okay, let's finish.
It was a company who was supposed to be shooting a documentary that was supposed to come out before Lifetimes, and I negotiated that deal. And when I found out what happened, I went back and canceled the shit. And that was it. And they because they put money up, those masters stayed in their care until they got paid back, which they never got paid back. So they lost about $1 million that they invested too.
So let's fast forward to today. So of course we know,
and we're talking about masters of music,
right?
Not none of those other shit. Yeah.
Right.
So let's fast forward to today. We know this is your wife, Alicia. She reached out to me via social media and said, "Hey, I would like for you to interview my husband. He wants to clear his name."
And they're not even together no more.
Something you said, and we know, we spoke about this earlier. You did the interview with Tasha K. And I guess it sounds like you were. I saw the interview. I watched the interview because I wanted to prepare for this interview. And to me, it looked like you were holding back in that interview. A lot of people, even in the comments, were like, "Well, he's really not saying anything." You know what I mean? It was almost like, "What's the point of this interview?" And you said earlier that you were in trial, and the case was pending. And then today you said, "Fuck it, I don't give a fuck no more."
Well,
so my question is, why are we here today? What you want to clear your name? What is it that you want to say
that clears your name?
That clears your name.
Well, one, first, I've never been his manager. Now, I did things that managers would do because there was nobody else to get it done. And I thought it would help as far as the investment. I'm not one of those guys that, my work ethic is second to none. When I get on something, I don't know how to come up off of it until it's done. So the plan was to get the music out on the platform. Never happened. I still got the records now. I could put them out if I wanted to. But the fact of the matter is, I was never his manager. I own my own business. I've always owned it. I was only in his immediate like circle for, and I'm not gonna say circle, his presence for 8 months. You know, everybody's writing me in all the way back, and the way the story is being told with the media, which started at the prosecutor's office. And it started with that goddamn complaint that they wrote that wrote me into this man's career all the way back to 2008 when I was not in his shit at all. I was nowhere close to him. I don't know any of them damn survivors, the victims, whatever you want to call them. I don't know any of them. I mean, so I want to clear that up. I didn't threaten anybody. I was literally going about protecting my investment. I didn't cooperate with the authorities because I'm in Chicago. And at that time, it was at the height of stuff. I don't want to be involved in that shit. I got brands to protect, family to protect, kids to protect.
Pause. Hold on. But you sat with them for a whole week and ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You gave them the phone. Then after that, you went and did the little gun threat. You claim you don't know nobody, but you just politely said on a recording that I have that you can depose Johanna real quick. And you can be done with her. But the only way you can do that is if you know somebody. Then you sat back and said that Johanna was related to somebody and this and this and this and this. And you putting people together, but you don't know nobody. Man, this shit got my head hurting.
Want them in that shit. That's why I use the name Colin Dunn, an alias name, to keep myself out of the shit. So that's, you know, that's the, and you look at anybody who gets into some shit, it's like me and you friends, right? And I've been knowing you 20, 30 plus years. We met, you know, we got this badge and we was in Boy Scouts together, right? And you got out of Boy Scouts, I did with the Silver Stars. I don't know if that exists or not. I'm just making
right, Ronell.
Right? But we both got out of it with that, right? So we vowed we're gonna be boys, whatever we go off and do. And 20 years later, I see you out on your yacht is going down in the middle of the ocean, and you out there peddling water and shit, trying to stay afloat, hollering and shouting. There ain't nobody else around you, but I happen to just catch a glance at you. I dive in the water and I swim my ass, and you see me. I'm hollering back and forth, and you still saying, yeah, come help. Swim out there, and I come get to you and shit. And when you get to you, you say, man, I'm cut and I'm bleeding out. I'm like, oh shit. And then I look underwater and it's fucking Moby Dick, Jaws, piranhas, all these horrible motherfuckers finna tear your ass apart. And then you say, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that shit too. That's fucked up of you.
That part, Primo.
You should have said, nigga, stay your ass ashore. It's looking real bad out here for me, right? That's what he did. I got my ass out there in this shit. And he didn't even tell me. I had to go searching through shit, finding shit, and then bringing it to him like, bro, is this for real?
So is this why you called him a manipulator?
Yeah.
Because earlier
You talked about
you
the
said
signature.
he was a manipulator. You talked about the signature. What's the significance of all of that?
Well, I mean, it's a whole bunch of that. I mean, obviously, this whole thing is about women he manipulated, obviously. I mean, and that's the whole duration of it. He's not just a singer. He's a fucking actor. He can get on stage. He has a hell of a performance. That's not just one-sided. He's not just selling albums. He's selling out shows too. I mean, so when you take all that and you bundle it up, this is a guy who has a gift of getting what he wants from people. You know, and at that particular time, he didn't have anybody. And I was the closest and smartest thing to him that he trusted. So
what?
Yeah, he opened the door, which he should have said, Don, listen, I'm about to be charged with fucking on 14-year-olds. And I actually do have a problem with myself because as a kid, I was fucked on at 7. My sister, my father, my grandfather is my father.
Right.
All these things he should have told me and gave me full disclosure before I made a decision to go forward. You don't let me get out here. We didn't started this relationship and shit, and then find out you've been molested at 7, and that's what's creating this hypersexual motherfucker that's fucking on everybody else at 7, 14 or whatever. No, it's not right, bro. I mean, literally, all these things that you find out on the fly, that shit's not cool. Give a motherfucker, let him know what he's getting himself into in the beginning. And that's the part about it that I could not say.
Pause. I'm lost now. Because, Don, your first baby mama, she was 13 when you was 21. Let me finish. Let's finish.
Throughout my and his trial, I was never told any of that shit by him. I mean, and I kept that shit to myself because one, he is on trial. I've already been told if I say anything about the fucking trial, they pulling both my bonds and taking my ass to jail. I couldn't reach his lawyers, nobody, until nobody shit. So it's like, I'm in this position right now. I really got to be careful. And because I didn't cooperate, you know what? Let's spank this motherfucker and let this RICO thing be him and Robert. So now I'm the enterprise. So you have to write a complaint writing me into his career all the way back so you can prove that he's part of this enterprise. Where's all the motherfuckers that was in videos that got 20% of them fucking checks from management and all that shit? The ones who walked them bitches in. The one who did all that shit that you did. Every one of them heifers can point out anybody. They can't point out me. Where's any of them motherfuckers? Where they at? Why are none of them motherfuckers locked up with his ass? Huh? They cooperated. They told the fucking FBI what they needed to fucking hear. They got it out of him, and that's what they helped them build that fucking case against his ass. So here, me, not knowing any of that shit existed, comes in thinking I'm finna get some music, put it on the platform, make $16 million fucking dollars. We're gonna blast off into the sunset. I can clean this shit up, and we good. Because I didn't know none of that shit existed. It's like, whoa. Well, then I just get hit over the fucking head. So I mean, that's the whole thing about it that people don't know. I didn't get into this shit knowing any of that existed. But I'd had them, that'd be different. They cannot prove by any fucking means that I had any contact with that dude before 2018 and after 2019 June. Period. I was in California, on with my life. I did an interview outside of Biggs, and this was at the beginning of when him started to part ways. I said he deserves to be. It was when they did the O.J. Simpson chase and shit, and I said he deserves to be surrounded by psychologists first. Examine his brain, how he did that shit with music, with all the challenges he went through. He was molested by his sister. I said that shit on all the major networks. How is that somebody who's looking at who's one of his yes men? Ain't nobody else ever said that shit. His own brother on the same show said, Don told me he deserved to be right where he is. Did his brother not say that on Surviving R. Kelly?
He did. Mm-hmm.
So how is that somebody who's a yes man, but yet I said that? I'm acknowledging this motherfucker got problems and I'm getting the fuck away from him. But because I didn't cooperate with the authorities and all of his other guys who I had exposed was stealing from him, that motherfucker there, that's who you need to get, Don Russell. You know why? Because had he not went to jail, we were finna sue all their asses. He had lawsuits against everybody. So the one motherfucker who uncovered that shit was me. That nigga need to be gone too. That's why that shit happened. But I didn't know, I wasn't going in to uncover any of that shit. My goal was to get him his motherfucking ownership back of his music, put that shit out on this platform, and sing Kumbaya from that point forward. It was none of the other shit that transpired from that.
So when we spoke over the phone prior to this interview, you said, I'm going to say names that will blow your mind. What were you referencing?
I think I said a few of them. I mean, you know, we talked Leah, Jay-Z. I mean, it's pointless for me to bring up a lot of shit that I was not standing in there next to. I mean, I know about, and there's certain people, like, you think about Aaliyah, you think about that whole situation, that's still not at rest. I mean, the greatest thing that happened is God took her away from them evil-ass people. Her mother was one, her father was the other one, and her uncle was the damn tip of the spear. And I'll say that shit. I asked Rob, why don't you expose Barry? Don't wake a sleeping giant. Fuck a sleeping giant. Like, for real, dog, God is the only giant you need to rely on, first of all. If this motherfucker knew you was sick, meaning you had issues, and instead of him going to find you help, he benefited off that shit, he's a fucking predator. That's the predator. Like, seriously, he knew Rob was molested because it was in his contract with Jive. There was a whole bunch of provisions in that initial contract that Barry Hankerson had to fucking sit down and go through with Jive before they signed Rob. Well, how's it there? Rob didn't do that shit. Barry did it. So he knew he had issues. Why didn't he get his ass a psychologist or somebody to sit down and walk through the fact that Rob had been fucked on by his kid, his sisters and shit at 7 years old? Barry used to go to Rob's motherfucking house and sit down with his mom and act and she felt like Barry was his father. So she trusted him with her, or him with him.
Do you feel like R. Kelly would have been the musical genius he was if he had not had those traumatic experiences in his life? Because we know a lot of his music clearly
reflected
his life.
Yeah, he came along at a time of sex sold. Sex sold. Yeah, everybody forget the whole generation when they started putting slight nudity on TV and kissing and all that shit. That was his era.
So would R. Kelly be R. Kelly without those experiences?
He wouldn't be R. Kelly. He might be some kind of other Kelly, but I mean, you know, Robert Kelly. I don't know. It came up with another name for him, but he would be a genius as far as musically.
I know he did.
Because that was a part of his makeup. Now, would he be talking about sex on the couch? I mean, on the tables and all that shit? No, maybe in the bed making love. His lyrics may have changed. I don't know.
Well, I'm referencing that too because in the video, there's a part where his brother talks about him explaining to him and expressing to him, looking at a poster of himself, saying, that motherfucker is the shit. And he basically was saying R. Kelly and Robert Kelly
are two different
people. Now, you knowing him personally, would you agree with that?
Well, yeah, R. Kelly is a brand. Robert is the person that works for the R. Kelly brand. Yeah. It's like Nike.
Was it like two different personalities?
Was it like working for two
like
different
a
people?
mental, like, you know, people have mental issues. It's like
Switch.
one person and another person.
Well, that's any actor. Denzel Washington, when he goes on and he does them beautiful movies, is not the same motherfucker at home. I mean, yeah, so that's, you get into your character, your role. I mean, the biggest perpetrator in a lot of this shit is songs.
Facts, Toy.
They put out that fucking music. They approved his song charts. So if he had all these songs and shit that you knew, and he had to have all these extracurricular activities that they knew about going on, they fueled that shit by giving them the contract and all the money, all these promissory notes and shit.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of times when you see situations like
Right,
this,
Ren.
you know, there have been cases where a person will get off because even when they're doing lie detector tests and several things like that, they really do switch into another person. And so do you feel like, I mean, that's why I'm asking you being in his presence, have you ever seen instances where he was another person?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was two.
I mean, I heard you say earlier he was a manipulator.
And you talked about the signature, which you
talked about the signature.
Yeah.
You said he was manipulating that.
Yeah.
So, like,
it was an instance.
Were there two R. Kellys?
Yeah.
To your
we would be down there watching the game. You know what I mean? It could be the fucking whoever, the Hawks and the fucking Bulls, and we would be talking about, you know, man shit and cigars and shit, and all of a sudden he'd disappear, and you be like, we talking like, whatever, you in the bathroom still, whatever. Next thing you know, you hear doom, 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 doom. That motherfucker upstairs, he done went fucking. He up like what's started with that? All men down here, and this nigga got horny. Upstairs, he fucking.
Did he like men? Because that was alleged in.
I never seen it.
You've heard that though, I'm sure.
I've heard it, but I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard any stories about that. There was one story. I'm sorry, no, there was one story that his brother told me about. His publicist, his stylist, Hollywood, where him and Rob was in a relationship, and it was kept quiet, and he decided that he was going to go public with the relationship. Now I know this is certain parts of this is true because I Googled it, and his shop was in Daryl McDavid's building, which is Rob's manager. When he decided to go public, it was Rob,
right,
it was his
boy.
manager Demetrius, and it was Kerry, all in the same room. Kerry is who told me the story. He decided, you know, they got into a falling out, and he said, "Listen, what about the world find out that you like men or whatever be the case? I'm finna tell everybody that R. Kelly, you know, how you get out." And you know, they got into it. And next day, he ended up dead. They went in there and shot him up at the at his what's the name spot, and he was on the phone with his mama when it happened. So that was an instance right there.
So the stylist was going to out R. Kelly, ended up dead.
Yeah. So
do you have any regrets of going to work or
yes,
work with R. Kelly?
Fuck yeah. I mean, regrets. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, you have a life. I'm 47 years old. I ain't never been in shit wrong, period. Never been locked up. I mean, there's some...
Man, you lying like hell.
Everybody get in, you know, trouble with, but my whole life, I've been in involved with major businesses, major.
And remember, he said this, y'all.
Raised a ton of.
Because I'm gonna pull the paperwork.
I can't even put my name on shit now.
Why? What happens when you put your name on something?
Well,
People know it?
Well, they Google that shit and they see that that's Donnell Russell, so they don't invest. This motherfucking, these bitches that's trying to get money now, they seize the money out of my fucking accounts. I mean, to be able to have everything and now you can't even go around it. We have a nonprofit that deals with kids. R. Kelly's manager, nonprofit that went to jail for this bullshit. I mean, nah, who the fuck? I can't go talk to nobody about, oh yeah, donate $500,000 to my charity from your charity. They don't want to have shit to do with it. I have to step down from the company that I started. I have to step down from the foundation that I'm the chairman and the executive director of. And pretty much I can't do shit. I'm waiting to go to jail. And I'm a mirror image of all the shit that I've worked my whole life to accomplish and achieve.
So let's talk about that.
You going for 20 months?
May 10th, you are supposed to be turning yourself in. For
20 months?
20 months is what we read. Is that
65, well, 85%, 75% of that. So.
Okay. And so let's talk about that because
you are married. You do have kids.
Bringing you into this. I mean, you're you guys are married. This is your wife. How long have you guys been married?
A year now.
About 8 months.
Yeah, no.
Wait a minute, a year, 8 months down.
How long have you guys been together?
We're together a year. Married 8 months.
Okay, so let's talk about.
So all this was going on when y'all got together,
right?
Okay,
that had to be tough too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's been challenging. I mean, I guess my first question would be, just as a couple, I mean, going through all of this, even you, knowing about this and choosing still to get in a relationship with them. I mean, talk about, I guess, the issues that is caused and the drama. And I don't know. I know earlier you were talking about threats. I mean, let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, walking into it, I had no clue, that, he was involved. He's a very humble guy, so, talking to him, anybody who's around him would know that, he's of a higher standard. So, to be a part of that, it was shocking. But I was like, well, it don't sound like it was too much involved. So, I basically accepted, to still be a part of his life. And, we were building and growing. Things were going pretty great for us. So, that wasn't going to stop me from, having a relationship. So
did you know about the charges and all of that walking into this, or
no? So as we, started, dating and getting serious, then, we would have conversations, and then that's when he told me about the court.
That means your timeline is off.
From that point on, I said, well, we're gonna lock arms, and I'm gonna be here with you, every step of the way.
So what have you done to prepare? Because that's a decent amount of time to be gone. You said
Hold the hell
that
up.
when you was a kid, you did a little silly stuff, but you ain't.
Hold the hell up. Don was indicted for a long time. But you said y'all was dating 8 months and y'all knew each other for a year. You know what? Can somebody tell Mia Mama to get in this chat? Fuck that. We gonna talk tonight. I done missed the Elimination Chamber. Can somebody tell Mia Mama to come get in this chat? Because now we gonna put an end to all this bullshit tonight. Can somebody tell Mia Mama to get in this chat? Because we need to talk.
Been locked up.
No.
Right.
How do you prepare for that?
Well, I guess that's a dual question. How do you prepare for it?
Because both y'all got to prepare for it.
And then how do you guys as a family prepare for it? Like, what are steps that you guys have taken to prepare for that? Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure walking into this, you didn't know that this would be, you might, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're thinking positive. You're thinking, okay, he's going to beat this case.
Right.
He's going to win. I'm pretty sure you were thinking that.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was anything.
Yeah.
It hadn't. I mean, it was like, when they first brought it, I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Right. I sat in the trial, so I'm literally listening to this. I'm like, oh, this is a piece of cake. Like, it's no way that they, can find him guilty. So we go to lunch, come back, we all, feeling positive, and we get back and they're like, yeah, guilty. And my heart was just like, whoa, wait a minute, what just happened? Like, so that at that point, that's when we started doing more research and finding out, like, he was pretty much framed. They had an agenda, and, they wanted to make sure that he be quiet during Rob's trial. So,
and y'all keep referencing this day. Like,
I mean, because we don't know whoever the prosecutor,
Yeah,
but
prosecutor. I mean,
like you said, it's somebody who
federal prosecutor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something to me. I don't know if you want to talk about this or not, but you mentioned that you felt like your lawyer was in on this.
Well, and the reason I say that is because one, after we sat down with some judges a few days ago, and they actually went through the case with us, and they pointed out a lot of shit that my attorney didn't, and it was damn near criminal, like that he didn't touch on certain things that would have killed this thing in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he never killed the fact that I had only known it running around for 8 months. It was a whole complaint and a sealed complaint drafted. He should have killed that in the beginning. The complaint was bogus. I got convicted because of a bogus complaint, stating that I was around him for 8 months, that I invested in his career and all this shit. It wasn't
That's
true.
what you said.
Now, was this an attorney that was R. Kelly
What the
affiliated
hell?
attorney, or is this
Thank
somebody
you,
found
Charlotte,
on
for the
your own?
99
This is
piece.
mine. I found him out in California. And I went to California. I'm thinking he won't know these guys from New York, and he won't play ball with them, you know. And he claimed he was an ex-prosecutor, and you know, and that he would, you know, get.
Thank you,
know,
Primo.
Be fine, you know. And what I recall was right before the trial, he was dealing with the Bill Cosby case in California, a civil case. So he never had time, and like my trial started a week after Bill Cosby's. So he never had all of the meetings we were supposed to have to get prepared for it and all this shit. We never had it. So we going into trial like blind. We would sit down before.
Thank
the
you so
case
much,
and
Charlotte,
go
for the
through,
99
you know,
piece.
points about the case and shit. And I done paid him $100,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then about to give him another $100,000 for the next case. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there like, you know, we'd had a boy in when all of us walked out.
Where'd you get $100,000 from, Don?
I mean, the only witness they had, it was like, first of all, I kept saying, who the fuck is after me?
Right. United States of America.
I mean, it's the prosecutor that's against me. It had nothing else to do with anybody else, but the prosecutor had a bone to pick because I didn't cooperate when they asked me to in the beginning. You know, and the dude told me, he said, after the trial, the prosecutor said, you was in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're not the guy we thought you was.
Have you thought about trying to refight this case?
So this is why I said my lawyer was in on it, because one, he told me that an appeal would cost too much and I wouldn't get it because what they gave me was beneath the federal guidelines. He's like, you know, they gave you less than the federal guidelines. You should take it.
Anytime the government give you something beneath the federal guidelines, you cooperated, nigga. You cooperated. Oh my God, bro.
And just, you know, and I was like, I said, man, you want me to take on to jail at fucking damn near 50?
Right.
I'm like, nah, man, I can't take that. But he was like, you're not going to win it and they could possibly give you more time. And I was like, yeah, if you fight this, you're going to be right back in front of the same judge. You can get more time. I'm like, man, fuck. He was like, well, you have a certain amount of days to file the appeal. So at this particular point, I'm like, well, what do you appeal? I don't know shit about none of this. Appeals, we're not being here for none of this. So that's when it's like, okay.
Thank you so much.
We got to start doing research, but we're going to find out that kind of shit and you don't even know where to look. You know, and
Right,
14
Jason.
days, however long you had to file this fucking appeal. So it was like, at that point, it's like, I done exhausted my money. We went through a whole year not being able to raise no money because my name ain't attractive to nobody now. We had $1 million deals on the fucking table. Every last one of them pulled back. We built an Oasis on the west side of Chicago, $25 million raised. Every last one of them pulled out. I mean, so to go from me trying to hold the company together and keep
That part,
convince
Primo.
investors to stay on board.
Why he didn't sue them since one
and I
web
gotta
mouth
fucking research this
talking
case
about
and
he
all
should
that
sue me.
and I don't have the team I had because I ain't got employees no more. We have to let people go. It's like, how do you find a way to figure that shit out? You hire somebody who's supposed to do his job.
Right.
He didn't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And when I sat down and talked to these new set of lawyers and they showed me these judges, they showed me all the shit where he fucked up. I was like, wow, he did fuck me. And I just specifically remember him telling me, if you go in front of this next judge, which is the one I pled guilty to, she's gonna give you 5 years. I'm like, for what? I said, dude, I don't even know them bitches though.
No evidence, no
No,
nothing.
nothing. I don't know her. He said, because she gave Rob 30 years.
It's crazy, and I'm about to read it.
So this was in New York.
Yeah.
I'm about to read
I
it.
said, man, fuck, I ain't even been to fuck. I've never even been to New York. How the fuck am I out in New York going to fucking trial in New York, and I've never even been there. Ain't done shit in New York. They don't even live in New York. I was like, fuck. So I'm sitting here, we sitting here like, what the fuck are we gonna do now?
Right.
This motherfucker done got all our fucking money. He basically telling me to throw myself under the fucking bus.
How much money have you exhausted in legal fees so far?
I mean, shit, we talking about over 300,000 total. I mean, you got to look at the
travel time,
back and
back and
forth
to
California to New York,
a whole week trial, staying at the hotel, like all of that.
Yeah, I spent a lot of fucking money.
Do you have any money left to your name after all of this?
No, I got a dime. I'm broke as fuck. Not a penny. I mean, literally. So
what?
Hold on, man.
I mean, he's leaving. He's
How long you're gonna be gone total?
Hold on, you broke as fuck. So how was you able to buy a new Range Rover if you broke? See, this is stuff I type about. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like 12 months?
I don't know. I mean, it's two kinds. It's two different guilties. You got Southern and Eastern districts, so they running together, which is the second. What is it when they run?
Be the light. That you know what? Let's put it on. Let's put it up there now. Be the light said, "Hey Dana, I'm in the chat, but I can't call in because I'm out. I can reply to a question." Oh no. I need to be able to listen. Monday, are you free? No, Tuesday, are you free Tuesday evening, Be the light? Because now me and you got to have a one-on-one conversation. After this lying fact fuck just sat up here and told all these lies, me and you got to have a conversation. So are you available Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening around like 7:30? Wow, she haven't even been in here and she haven't even heard the stuff, and she said he's a hot-tempered liar. Wow. Charlotte said, "Shut up, Don. You stole and hid his stuff in your basement." But Be the Light said he's a hot-tempered liar. Let me know if you're available Tuesday afternoon, because we got to get this one-on-one, me and you.
Concurrent. Yeah, they're running together. So they said, good time and 75% or 85% or whatever.
Right.
It could be as little as 14 months.
Okay, so a little over a year. So,
As much as 16.
How has that been like? What's the plans? What have you guys been doing? I'm pretty sure aside from spending as much time together, I mean, what does that look like?
Nothing but prayer. It's a lot of mental emotions.
But they not even together now.
Daily, 1 minute, and then you get closer.
You know what? I'm gonna put it out there.
Like,
fuck this.
We went from
I'm gonna put it out there.
6 months.
They not together. For these two on the screen is not together. However, it's been said that Don have a girl by the name of Mia pregnant, and she's a young girl, and that came from our most reliable source. Also, but I'm gonna say this: I was on a three-way call, and Don's mother didn't know I was on that call, and she confirmed the same thing. I told you I ain't holding nothing back no more. I don't care. I'm putting the 10 on the 20, and I'm putting the shit straight. When Mia mother hopped up on Prima Donna channel, I gave her a nugget. I said, "Go holler at Don. He's gonna lie to you, but you gotta stake him out." I said that. This lady that you see on the screen is no longer with Don. She lives, I think, like 2 miles down from where Don live at right now. And Don live in this building. Well, his mama live in his building. But Don lives in the mama house and at this other house that's about 1.5 miles down the street from the building that his mama live in. I'm going to put it out there.
To now being 30 days away to, having this, having to face this. And then, I was telling the attorney, I would prefer, because he had an option to be in Illinois. So we're like, okay, well, if he's somewhere in Chicago, then
I talked to you off the grid, be like,
couldn't be.
You know what? Get my number from Prima Donna.
Rob was there, and then back in 2009, my mother was murdered by her boyfriend.
Okay,
so
Lily.
In Illinois, so I didn't want to be, in that same facility because, I mess around and bump into him and we're gonna have problems, right? So, got to go to Minnesota. So we're talking about a 5-hour drive. Empty bank. Trying to plan our family to make sure that we keep food in the refrigerator. Yeah. Eggs is like $10. So it's a lot. Financially, mentally, emotionally. Talking about an innocent man who has to serve time for something that he didn't do. And
what?
You just stuck. You think going to an attorney would be the right way to go, and that failed,
Even now, we still been communicating with him, and every last one of them got a different story. It's like nothing is consistent. One guy told us about a route that we could take to even, get out of this, and we get to the next guy to question to make sure. It's like I don't trust nobody now. Mm-hmm. These attorneys, they all work for each other. I don't give a shit. With nobody.
Thank you, Be the Light, because people be saying I be lying, but what you said, that Don mother confirmed it. I spoke with his mother and she told me no. But what you got to realize is June Barrett and Don Russell is one of the same. When you dealing with Don, you dealing with June. When you dealing with June, you dealing with Don. They will not go against each other for nobody. I will go pull the interview, or better yet, I will get his blood sister back up here, and she would tell you June treated her so bad for Don. So when you speak to June, you're going to speak for Don. And I think this is bad. What up, Kip? And I think this is bad. Because the stuff Kip said, these internet niggas, people will put anybody on their platform. Right. I totally agree. Like, this is bad because this dude done spilled so many lies to the federal government. And like I told you, if it wasn't for him, there would be no charges in New York. It would just be a civil suit. So let's do this real quick. Because we're going to come back to that, right? We're going to come back to that. But when I tell you that people will do anything, watch this. And I want y'all to peep this. This is Double XL. Y'all that's familiar with the magazine world, this is Double XL. Man leaves R. Kelly studio with computer hard drive just before raid. You see the date? January the 17th, 2019. Right? So it says R. Kelly's Chicago studio was raided by Chicago building inspectors, but a mystery man, Don Russell, appeared to have gotten away with a computer hard drive before they arrived. No, I'm sorry. That's not just Don. That was Julius too. On Wednesday afternoon, January 16th, members of the Chicago Fire Department and building inspectors visited Kelly's studio, which is a place some people believe he houses alleged victims. Police secured the area while inspectors entered the property. They eventually cited the I Admit singer for various building code violations after they found evidence that individuals were living inside the non-residential building. Before the raid took place, CBS 2 reporter Mike Punchinelli was on the scene around 5 a.m. when he witnessed the mystery man carrying boxes and a computer out of the building. After the reporter approached him, the man wouldn't confirm if he was the landlord or an employee of Kelly's and ended up driving away with everything in his trunk. The raid on Kelly's studio comes after a criminal investigation was launched against the embattled singer and 2 of his employees. Kelly's former manager, James Mason, turned himself into police for reportedly issuing terrorist-style death threats towards the family of Joycelyn Savage, one of Kelly's alleged victims, last year. Kelly's other manager, Don Russell, is also being investigated for threatening the Savages days before Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly aired. Check out the footage of the mystery man removing boxes and a computer from R. Kelly's Chicago studio below. Man spotted bringing computer tower and boxes out of R. Kelly's West Side recording studio before dawn Wednesday. Would not say if he was the landlord or an employee of the embattled singer. So hold on. You can hit this link. Let's see. That's Julius. This is Julius. No, that's not Julius. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
You work for R. Kelly?
Thank you, Miss Shannon. He said, I love you, Dana. I love you back. Thank you for the
You work for R. Kelly?
This person have a mask on. So you really can't tell. I know who that is. I know exactly who that is. Okay. I know exactly who that is. Ooh. It's kind of deep. I know exactly who that is. So the crazy part of it is this right here. Don Russell helped orchestrate Robert going to jail. I'm going to pull the paperwork. So on Tuesday, I want y'all to remember this. Remember what all he said. Because I'm going to pull the paperwork and I'm going to finish up the rest of what he said. I think we got another 30 minutes left. I'm going to pull the paperwork of when he sent somebody else to jail for a dime bag of weed. Now, this is crazy. But Don said that it was him on Texas Black Diamond. Oh, so Don said that was him and Keith. That's sad. That's sad. That's sad. To sit around in somebody's face and just plot and just act like you cool with them. Thank you, Mama Love. Mama Love 206 with the 10-piece. I can go to Shane's and get me a 4-piece and Western fried and half. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mama Love with the 10-piece. Thank you so much. She said, just showing you love. I appreciate you, Mama Love. I appreciate you too, Shannon. Hold on. Shane Rock.
Dana J.
Yeah.
Who's Big Sam?
And you know Sam. Hold on, when I'm live, I'm gonna call you when I get off.
All right, call it.
All right. So I just think it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's real crazy that a person can smile in your face the whole time and don't mean you no good and can walk you and usher you into the courtroom and let you get hung right in that face and look at you with a straight face and then leave out. I'm going to leave with this nugget. And Kip is here. And y'all heard what I said earlier. If Kip talked about every measure him and Rob had to do, and I know firsthand that Kip and Rob was working on getting everything that was taken from him back. How did Don monopolize on stealing R. Kelly Sony portal and then putting together a lie and say he was the one that was getting everything together? Then turned around and said, Dana J is casting a doubt on everything we doing. Then say Dana J stole from the defense fund, but then turned around and said Dana J ain't never do nothing and he never stole nothing. Make this make sense. On top of that, going on people's platforms and putting naked nudes out of people that have Robert in court. Then wait a minute. Press star 67 and call in a gun threat to a building that's that's less than 1,000 yards away from a federal courthouse, which makes it federal. So guess who get locks up? Robert Sylvester Kelly. On Tuesday, I'm going to pull out a picture that the government used in New York. And we're going to examine it. We're going to go over it. We're going to dissect it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to dissect it. Hold on. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Hold on. I see Kip say, Premium, what's up, sis? I really believe they should do an investigation. Daryl McDavid needs to go to jail. I'm done playing. Kip said, what up, sis? I'm tired. Like, yeah, that's Dawn in the Mask. But that's why I said, oh, I know who that is. So it explains how Julius got the laptop out in California with 200 and something songs that Rob had. Now that explains why Robert made Julius come back to Chicago. It all makes sense now. While Rob made Julius catch the bus back from California to Chicago, and then they had their little meeting. It all makes sense. Don said that was him and Keith on Texas Black Diamond. Right. So the whole time, Keith and Don formed this immaculate plan to steal from Robert. Sad. And that's not right. It looks like Keith. That's why I said I know exactly who it is. That's sad. He was waiting to go to jail. Wow. Mama Love said, I'm here in the bush. Thank you, Mama Love. Appreciate you. This is insane, bro. It's very insane, EJ. Thank you so much. So again, doesn't it say a lot when they use mofos who don't know the man to facilitate a janky Rico? Like I said, Prima, you already know how we get down. It shocked me that he said it on Texas Black Diamond, but when I read the article, it connected the dots. Yeah, it really connected the dots. Live Traffic TV. If R. Kelly never recorded, I admit it. How can Don release it? Who owns Legendary Records? Do you think it's anyone else behind the scenes other than Don that wants R. Kelly music? Yeah. And Legendary Records, I do believe that's Keith. No, Some Brother Love is Keith. But Legendary Records, that sounds so familiar. Hey, Prima, but they about to put me back on investigative journalist list. I'm about to go do an investigation. The government will give immunity to extortionists. Make it make sense. Facts. Hello, Kip. Could you describe? Nah, I don't think Kip gonna do that on live. Be the light. Some frauds for you. He has always been jealous of R. Kelly. Makes no sense, Prima. They all been jealous. Didn't Don say he worked for Sony? Was he planning? That's another avenue, love unconditional. DM should be in jail. Daryl McDavid should be in jail. True TSW. All of this nonsense for R. Kelly. Was Julia's real name Arrington? It's Darrington. It's too many coincidences. It's Darrington, but I don't. It's just too much. Just as soon as the trial, Julius had all Rob's stuff and came up after. Yeah. Yes, it's someone else behind the scene that has his music. There's a couple someones. He's probably going to miss that deadline again. Blocked by the money man. Lexington, I can't talk about it right now. I can't talk about it right now. I gave somebody my word, bro, but yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. 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 I'm going to say this, man. Be careful who you allow around you. One thing I've always told people, and Kip is here, is nothing new. I always pride myself as being solid. I might be goofy. I might go off. I might cuss. But I pride myself in being solid. It's crazy. But I'm going to say this. I do not expect Bo Brenly to make the deadline. I'm just being honest. A lot of people might sit back and say, oh, Dana, listen. Hope has left me years ago. I do not expect Bo Brenly to meet the deadline because of what I know. Now, if he do, that will shock the hell out of me. But after listening to my big bro Kip again, he opened up another side that I kind of let diminish. And I had to check myself. And I said, Kip was right. Bo Brenly couldn't stand Rob during trial. So now, why do he love Robert now? The only thing is, Daryl is after power of attorney. But what we all got to realize is that Daryl McDavid still have $1 million lawsuit that's open against Robert. So now I'm understanding why the warden didn't want to grant Daryl McDavid access to the jail, because now that's a conflict of interest. See, even when you know a lot, you don't know everything. And I agree with EJ. This case is too frustrating. The truth always comes out. The truth always comes to the light. Yeah, but it might be too late for Rob once the truth comes to the light. Just when you think you've heard it all, there's always another twist that takes the situation in a whole different direction. Facts. Facts, J-Rock. Right. And it's sad right now, and we already know it. Yeah. So TSW said, do you think that is why R. Kelly refused to see Bo? Do you think that he knows now to trust her? You know what? And TSW is on the other side. But you might be on to something. You might be on to something. I can't answer this right now. But I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to come back and answer that. I can't answer it right now. And R. Kelly attorney getting paid. Whoa. I don't want to go into that right now. People too interested in the money trail than the truth. EJ, let's go here. When it comes to R. Kelly, the yes men was never interested in the truth. The yes men was never interested in R. Kelly. Only the day ones were. The yes men was always interested in the money. You heard what they said to me. Robert didn't fulfill contracts. Robert was selfish. That's why it strikes a nerve in me when people feel like they entitled to something and you wasn't practicing with this man or that woman or whoever doing anything. I promise you, if Bo Brinley misses this deadline, I will become Chicago's #1 enemy. Because I'm going to go scorched earth and not going to care about repercussions. I'm going to say it again. If Bo Brinley misses the deadline, I'm going to become Chicago's #1 enemy. Because I'm going to go scorched earth. And I'm not going to care about repercussions. Right is right, wrong is wrong. And I'm not going to say Robert is a saint, because I'd be lying. But he don't deserve this. If you're going to charge the man for something that he did. But like y'all did with Diddy, if people can poke holes in the stories, then you must acquit the charges. And that go for anybody, whether you friend or foe, whether I rock with you or not. If people can poke holes in your story, and your story don't align, nah. And when people can feel comfortable with going to the federal government and lying and then getting on a stand and get full immunity and lie, it takes me back to when Rob said, what do I do when I can no longer do what I do? How can I win when I can't win with truth? I think folks need to go back and listen to that I Admit It song. Because it's not what a lot of people think. It's foundational. And it's laying facts. Now, before I get out of here, y'all heard Shank Rock call. Shout out to Shank Rock and the Rock Stars. But me and Shank Rock will be going back home to Baltimore. Because one of the rising stars have been unalive because of police brutality. A lot of y'all don't know him. A lot of people know him as Samuel Brown or Big Sam. I know him as Sam, a.k.a. Samuel Brown. But we going back home to put pressure on the Baltimore County Police Department. Sam Brown was one of the best car salesmen out there. He was one of the best party promoters out there. And when he rock with you, he rock with you. I'm surprised Kip even came up here to jump in the chat because he knew Sam very well. And the city is not happy. But somebody got to do it. And we don't see none of the young guns in the city taking up journalism and going to try to get records, trying to do things, trying to help out. The family. It's sad. It's sad. Crystal said, be careful, Dana. Of course. Of course. But I appreciate it. Live Traffic TV said, Prima Donna played the clip of R. Kelly saying that he hoped people recognize his voice as if he didn't record it. I believe AI was used to create that song. No, I Admit was done by Robert. Robert didn't master it. He just did it cold. Yeah, Robert did I Admit. He definitely did that. But he's never got it mastered. And Sam Brown was sitting in his car, asleep. Police pulled up from what I hear. You know what, better yet, I'm going to do one better. Because I don't want to add nothing. And I don't want to miss nothing. And I don't want to take away nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Come on. I'm going to play a little bit for you of what actually happened.
Lord, because you make no mistakes, Lord. You said in the Bible that no weapons formed against us shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against us in judgment, thou shalt condemn. We condemn this, Jesus. We say no justice, no peace, God. We believe you for victory, God. You see all things, you know all things, you make no mistakes, God. You're going to deliver us through this, God. Unity in numbers, we're going to make a movement, God. We pray that you touch Billy Murphy, God. He makes all the right moves, God. You console the family, God, in this time of need. We thank you and praise you and claim all these blessings. In your sons we pray. Amen. Amen.
Once again, thank everybody. My name is Roberto Silva. Most of y'all know me, of course, as Quicksilver. And I'm standing here on behalf of not just a great friend of mine. This is somebody who I owe my career to. His name is Samuel Brown. So make sure we say his name. His name is Samuel Brown. But we all know him as Big Sam. This is somebody I met back in 1994 at Club Indigo, which started my career. From that moment on, y'all know, you see Quick, you see Big Sam. 100% of the time, not 99, 100% of the time, you see me, you see Big Sam. Right next to me. He's been more than a partner of mine, and I mean, he has been a person in my life consistently over the last 30 plus years. And we're gonna continue fighting. If y'all know me, I don't get tired. So when it comes to fighting for justice for Big Sam, I promise you, this fight is just starting today. I wrote something down because I wanted to make sure that I speak facts when I speak today and not just emotion. And then after that, I'm going to turn it over to our attorney, Billy Murphy. He can read something if there's any questions we're here. These are the facts that we know as of now. Unfortunately, on Monday, February 16th, which was last Monday, around 3:30 a.m., and I'm actually going to say the officer's name because when they put the statement out, I guess they were trying to protect his identity, but I'm going to say his name today because I think that's important. On Monday, February 16th, around 3:30 a.m., a Baltimore County police officer out of this precinct right behind us, by the name of Derek Hadel. They call him Officer Hadel, Hadel. He responded to a welfare check to a man who had been sitting on the intersection of Security Boulevard and Whitehead Court. And I'm reading this. This is something that they actually put out, so everything I'm saying are facts. They didn't say his name, but I want to say that man happened to be a dad of 6. 4 girls, 2 boys. At once was a dad of 7, but unfortunately one of his daughters passed away. But as of this second, you have 4 daughters behind me, 2 sons behind me, as well as immediate family behind me that are demanding justice for what happened to our brother, our dad, and our friend, Samuel Brown, known as Big Sam. When the Baltimore County police officer, Derek Hadel, this is what we know so far, went up to his vehicles. They said they checked on him. They said at that moment, Sam exited the vehicle. Police reported, and once again, this is what they reported. They reported that an encounter occurred, which resulted in them using force. This is what we got told 2 weeks ago. But as of yesterday, we just got the police report. We do not have the body cam footage that we've requested for 2 weeks. But according to that police report, that force was actually 2 punches to the face to Big Sam. And from those 2 punches, from the police officer, Derek Hadel, from this department behind me, Sam unfortunately fell backwards, hit his head, and from that moment, he was unconscious. Sam was transported to Sinai Hospital, which he was reported to be in critical condition, but now we know from facts of talking to doctors and nurses. When he arrived, he had no brain function. He's been in the hospital for the last he's been in the hospital since last Monday. He had also been in the hospital, this is an important fact to know, for 12 hours before they even notified any members of his family. When we were eventually notified, we were told that he was in surgery for life-saving measures, which we now know, unfortunately, he was too gone on arrival. Since Monday, February 16th, we've been asking the Baltimore County Police Department and the Attorney General to release the body cam footage so the family can know exactly how a wellness check ended up with Samuel Brown potentially losing his life. We have been told no, that they need more time to investigate. Because of his Islamic faith as a Muslim, when the inevitable happens, we have to bury him within 72 hours of his potential death. And I believe that is unfair to a family to potentially have to bury a loved one without even knowing what happened to him. This was a wellness check. At a wellness check, the worst that should happen is potentially you get a ticket, or at the worst, you should be locked up. And a wellness check should never result in potentially your death, ever. All we know is at this moment, this incident occurred by a Baltimore County police officer by the name of Derek Hader. For the last 11 days, Sam Brown's been in a coma and has been solely kept alive on life support. 2 days ago, the doctors made it clear to myself and the family that they've done all they can, and he has been moved since to hospice care. He's been moved into hospice care. We are demanding, because we've been asking for over 2 weeks now, we are demanding that you release the body cam footage as well as the dash footage so the family can have closure to what happened to our dad, to our brother, to our friend and family that we all know is Big Sam. In closing, before I turn this over to our attorney so he can give you more facts of what happened, my question is very simple today. How does a wellness check end up in something that's potentially death by force of a Baltimore County police officer by the name of Derek Hader? Why did it take 12 hours to notify the family? Why were we told, myself, his daughter Charlie and others, we were told on day one that this happened from a slip and fall off of ice and that he hit his head. That's what we were told. We now know that was a lie. And unfortunately, if y'all know about lies, if there's one lie, there's probably other lies that we haven't figured out yet. But due to this severity of his injuries and the multiple locations of his injuries, because he had injuries to the back of his head, and because of the punches, unfortunately, his nose and jaw was broke on arrival. There's another question I want everybody to ask. Why is Baltimore County Officer Derek Hader, that caused these injuries, being investigated right now by the Internal Affairs Division? If anybody knows anything about investigations, they happen normally. And once again, we can't assume anything, but normally they happen when something's wrong. All these questions can be answered simply by showing the family the videos of what happened. So we're demanding today that you please release the tapes so that we as a family can see what happened to our brother Samuel Brown, known as Big Sam. The hashtag justice for Big Sam. I'm gonna turn it over to our attorney, Billy Murphy, at this time.
So that's the case that me and Shank going to end up working on next. It's the Big Sam case in Baltimore. Going back home to do some work. Simple as that. But hey, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important, be yourself. And don't forget, on Tuesday, join me back here because we're going to talk about some things and we're going to continue this Don situation. Because we heard some names being called. And I have some interviews that I'm going to release. So I told you I'm going to spin the block and I'm going to show you why R. Kelly is locked up. But before I go, I want to tell you this. I want to thank everybody that joined me today. I want to thank everybody that donated today. I want to thank everybody that hit that like button coming in. So I'm expecting for everybody to hit the like button going out if you didn't hit the like button already. Like, share, subscribe. That's all I ask. If you can donate, it's very well appreciated. But we bringing nothing but facts. We ain't putting our feelings in it. That's why I'm giving it to you the way I'm giving it to you, so that way you can take it and you can do your research as well. And you can determine what it is that you finally don't understand or understand or overstand. Also, I've added a new repertoire to the spice business. I'm now selling buckets for $70. There's a half a pound bucket. A half a pound bucket of nothing but whatever spice you want. The spices are jumping, especially that new TP2, that new Tropical 2. Oh my God. That White Dirt Bold. Oh my God. I still have the seafood. I still have, the Ooh Child. I still have the, oh my God. I still have all of that. But that TP2 ain't nothing to be played with. People have been telling me like, yo, I got to order some more. So I had to make an order. And I got some more bottles in. So come on and put your order in. Go to DanaJSpices@yahoo.com. Leave me an email of what you want. And we going right at it. But I want y'all to check this out.
Dana J hood season, man. I'm talking about that white dirt for all your vegetables and potatoes and anything from the garden, salads and everything. They got that Cajun. Oh my goodness, they got that ooh child. Don't forget that seafood. Last but not least, he got this thing called Tropical. Go to DanaJSpices@yahoo.com.
With that being said, for all the people that had something to do with Robert going to jail, your time's coming. And I just want y'all to know.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
This is not the type of tea I want.
It's over for you.
So I want to say thank you once again for joining me. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to join the hottest YouTube channel out there, your blogger's favorite blogger. Go ahead, please like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends to like, share, subscribe, and join. On that note, y'all have a good night. I'm gone.
Sometimes a misty rain that gently touches my soul. Feels just like fire shut up. all on me. Remember me from Lake Clifton, Eastern High School, also down at the Harbor Place, working at the fudgery. I was always singing at the Jeter shows. That time was so special to me. There's so much more to Dana J than what the eye can see. I want you to know I love you. I want you to know I need you. Where would I be without you? Nowhere, 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 nowhere. Feel it in my music, along with the stories I bring. I'm never gonna lose it in no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Feel it in my music, along with the stories I bring you. I'm never gonna lose it. No way, no way, no way, no way. Another Dana J classic.
Dear Robert, it's really hard fighting for you and the ones you're listening to are the ones hurting you and trying to keep you there.
It's quiet on the radio now. Your voice used to fill the room. Every slow jam feel like a ghost of something we once knew. They don't know you like I know you. Behind the lights and fame, they just say your name out loud. But don't feel the weight, don't feel the weight. Too many people in your ear telling you who to trust. But the loudest ones ain't always real. They just feeding off the dirt. Yeah, I miss you. I miss you. We miss you. I miss the man, not the headline. Oh, I miss the heart in your sound. Oh, Sierra, since you ain't been around. Where you at, Robert? Still your song. Yeah.
I know you're human just like me.
Carry blessings, carried flaws, but it hurt to watch the world turn a life into a cause. I still hear your music breathing through the pain and through the years. They can lock the doors in silence rooms, but they can't erase what we hear. They can't erase it. If I could sit you face to face, no cameras, no noise, I'd say don't let the wrong advice steal your voice. You more than the fall, more than the fight. You're still somebody's healing in the middle of the night.